Hello, 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 everybody. All right, I am unmuted.
Okay, I'm switching.
Also good to go.
Okay, Legend, Scar, you guys good?
Yep.
Good to go.
Well, hello, everybody. Chat and everybody in Discord. Um,
Hello.
What up?
what up? What up? So, everyone, please welcome Ashen Rabbit. I don't think
Hi.
she needs an introduction, but you've been on the server for like ever, right?
Just over 3 years. June of 2022 is when it got allow listed.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. And then
Yeah.
for people in chat, what characters are you best known for? You can name all your characters, your favorite characters, the current characters you play. Just if you want to just run through your character list real quick.
Sure. So the first character that I made and the one that I still play to this day, was W. Parker. She's a current deputy marshal with the Saints Crossing Sheriff's Department. I've played a whole myriad of other characters as well. People might maybe know Audrey Sand, the younger sister of Mitch Sand. I played her for a while until she very unfortunately died. And I've had a couple other criminal characters. I had Roxy Faraday in the Northwest King and currently have Honeybee Davies in the Golden Hounds.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This is actually perfect for the fear roleplay and having you, because that Ansberg, the fear RP you guys did on the Ansberg scene is still like top 10 I've ever seen on Wild.
Yeah, that was crazy. I wanna say that that was, like, the first introduction to, like, legit fear RP I'd ever really gotten into.
Yeah, because that's when
And I
Devi was a doc, right?
Yeah, yeah, she was still just a medic at that time. That was yeah, that was kind of formative for a lot of things that helped get her where I guess, where she is today. She didn't trust the law after that, which is a really funny thing to now be a fucking deputy marshal, but we all grow and learn.
Yeah, that entire scene was insane.
Mhm.
And then everyone want to introduce yourselves. I don't think we have to do it each week to introduce our current characters, but if you want to.
Uh, yeah, I played Toby, Kerrigan Rancher, died miserably trying to escape to Guama with his girlfriend who committed a murder. Died in
So sad.
they died holding hands. uh, yeah, so he's dead. Then I played Terry Malaga, the brother who joined the law department, had a long career,
Piece of
and
shit.
then after one last standoff with the gang that killed the woman he loved. He ended up retiring. So bittersweet ending. And then now I play uh, a probably even more miserable character named Dazza, um, who is just struggling to get by. And it's been fun. So that's where I'm at right now. Um, yeah.
Daza?
Hey guys, I play Charles St. John, the deputy, um, the prick, and previously before that, I didn't really stream it all too much. Just Chester Lockwood, a little criminal. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed that. Just a little bit of a manipulative criminal. Didn't really get into many gunfights or anything like that. It was mainly against Mr. Eli Blair and a few other criminals. A few of the DiCenzos, a couple of that. It was really fun. I had a blast. But yeah, currently Charles St. John.
Sorry.
Hello. I play Deputy Zoe Winters right now. And then, God, I'll take a little trip down memory lane. I had Allie, who was Toby's girlfriend. Kind of like a not serious criminal for a bit that ended up really different to how I expected her. And then I had Holly. Holly Harper was a criminal turned civ that died. A few other criminals along the way. But yeah, Zoe's my main.
And then I played
Remember
the
Sophie. We all remember Sophie, though, just saying. Okay, sorry.
Oh
go
yeah, and
Yeah.
Sophie. Oh, French criminal.
We'll remember Sophie for you. Need the translator. I played the super chillaxed, relaxed, really cool dude, Zip Quill. And I currently play Chick, who just is. Well, I mean, it's Zip 2.0, but he's a cannibal this time. Other than that, today's topic is going to be fear roleplay. Now, I know one of the reasons why I wanted to grab Ashen is because you have played so many, like, of the topic characters that, like, the main topics of Wild, right? Civilian, criminal, doctor, and the deputy, and then not forgetting rangers or anything like that. But you have hit those, like, the government, criminal, and civilian. So I think it would be perfect to hear your aspect on kind of the civilian side of it. I don't think that's one thing that a lot of us in here have, like, really focused a character on, is the civilian side of it. And I don't think any of us have played a doctor. I'd be too afraid to.
It's not that bad, I promise. I knew nothing about MedRP before I even got onto the server. I didn't even know that that was a thing, like, at all. And then I saw people doing it, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. And it's literally just about facilitating what other people want to do. But I could talk about that forever.
Yeah, I'm sure one of these topics will touch base on that whole thing, but let's dive right in head first. I'll start it off, and then I'll put the names next to it as we go. But so the understanding the basics, and why is VRP especially important in a setting like Red Dead Redemption, where violence and consequences are so deeply woven into the world. And then Ashton, if you want to kind of answer this straight off the bat.
Sure. Yeah. Fear RP is kind of linked with conflict roleplay. It's what drives a vast majority of roleplay, like, overall. And in a world like Red Dead Redemption 2, where conflict is, like, imperative to the story and just even the world in general, uh, it can create lasting, meaningful story. Especially in, like, the world of WildRP, where slow burn is kind of paramount to stuff. Being able to have fear and conflict will drive nearly everything. Story can, like, be driven by a desire to succeed, but there's always something, like, diametrically opposed to help with motivation. So, like, what am I trying to say? There's different kinds of fear that you can play into. There's, the general fear of, I'm about to inflict violence on you, but there's also the fear of failure. There's the fear of death. There's the fear of loss, whether that's loss of other people, loss of material possessions, loss of rank. There's all kinds of different types of fear within that. Um, and, like, without fear of violence or consequence, uh, the drive of conflict and just the drive for resolution don't have any meaning whatsoever. So fear is going to put weight on the decisions and actions that incite it, and it helps give it credibility. I hope that's not too much of a mouthful.
No, not even a little bit. Legends, you want to touch on it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say Ashen kind of summed it up really well. My answer would be pretty much, we're in a very tumultuous era. It's, late 1800s, early 1900s, very, very different time where things just aren't really up to scratch. Everything's still kind of um, moving along the timeline. There's a lot of, yeah, like the kind of golden age of outlaws coming to an end, and um, yeah, it's just a lot of violence going around and a lot of trying to tame violence. That's what that era is all about. The kind of freedom that people think they have to do whatever they want, and then uh, civility coming along and being like, well, nah, you can't anymore. And that's a lot of stories are kind of made around that. So that the world of Red Dead and like the world of Red Dead of the era of the time is made for conflict, and that's one of the interesting things about it to me. Um, yeah, Fear RP is important because it facilitates the actual era itself. That's what I'd say.
Aza, and then Scar, and then I'll touch base on it, and we'll move to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, it is incredibly important because it makes everything immersive. I mean, if you walk around not scared of absolutely anything, um, well, it's going to be carnage. Um, I love it. I absolutely love it. Where again, you can just like we said last stream. You know, when a criminal comes into town and how you can inflict all that fear onto like the civilians. Just that one thing, it brings it all together. It really and it puts a lot on the line. Um, and you just add if you really go with that fear RP when I don't know, let's say a Daz has got his um, how good does that feel? Legends when like oh shit, I'm really this is crazy that this
It
person's really
feels
scared of what I'm doing.
it feels validating. It also feels like it feels like I'm doing something right. I think it goes hand in hand. Like um, you know, uh, when it comes to this is a question I'll probably touch on this a bit later, but the fear of Sissika, the fear of going to prison, the fear of being locked up and put in solitary. Um,
Right, yeah.
that's one of my big drivers for the character. Every time he goes in, he comes out different or more messed up because if you think about it, if you're out there doing horrendous things, you're gonna be locked away, isolated, solitary. If you're playing a character that rejects the idea of civility entirely, you're setting yourself up to for some real rude awakenings, and that's the fun part about playing that character. It's like the fear of Sissika, the fear of getting caught, and the fear of not being able to accomplish what you need to accomplish because you're locked up, and yeah, it's a big part of it. You're right. Yeah.
It just adds so much weight to so many scenes, and there's
Mm.
so many ways you can portray fear. It doesn't have to
Mhm.
be. I think we've got a lot of questions on that, so I won't touch all too much. But it's incredibly important.
Yeah, I mean, for me, consequence is what makes the world feel real and immersive. And then fear RP is just a big part of making the consequences real and feel real.
Yeah.
Um, we're good to move on to the second point because I actually have an answer to this question. I wanted to pitch this to other people too.
Of course.
Um, so I'll answer this question first because I had it in my head, and actually, now that we have someone who reminded me of the situation in the chat right now, I'm sure they'll remember too. But the question is, can you walk us through a time when your character had to make a hard decision based purely on fear? What made that moment work? Okay, so the instant I think of that question, I think about when I'm playing Terry Malaga, my senior deputy. Um, and we're in Blackwater, and Zoe was in the telegram office with Terry. and at this time, I think it was a very tense period where there was some conflict going on. There was some things happening. Um, the Wallaby kid rides into town outside of the Blackwater telegram office, and Terry and Zoe are alone inside, and we're like, oh shit, what's going on? I think he wanted to speak to Zoe. I think he had some business. He had to. I don't know. There was something going on.
He,
And he wanted Zoe. He wanted Zoe to come out. And maybe Scarlett, you can tell me why, because I forgot.
yeah, he was after cash, but then couldn't
That's
find
right.
it.
Yeah.
So it was just like, okay, well, you'll do. I think
Yeah.
Terry was
Okay.
gonna do, and then it was Zoe,
Yeah.
and we're
So
just like, oh my god, how are we getting out of this?
so yeah, he comes outside. Terry and Zoe are hunkered down in the telegram office. Guns out, like shit. Like he's here. He wants one of us. Something bad is going to happen if we step outside. What do we do? And we're panicking, right? And he's like, TikTok. One of you come out here. And then Wallaby Kid makes an offer. He says, Terry, if you come outside right now, I won't go after Cash anymore. I won't go after Cash, and I won't go after Zoe. He goes, Terry, if you come out, I won't go after anyone, and it'll be fine. And Terry's like, all right, well, he's literally about to go outside. And yeah, he was really scared. Like, I think what sold that moment was like the fear from Zoe, the fear from Terry, like being totally outnumbered by these vicious outlaws outside of the telegram office. And like, you know, I think especially when you're up against, outlaws or people that have like have a big history on the server, or have been around for multiple years, and they're deadly, and you've dealt with them multiple times, you kind of got to respect that and give them the weight that it deserves. If you can tell they're putting it, they're all to give you a good scene. I think responding with a way that's gives the scene weight. So yeah, Terry was about to go out there, and then in rides in Cash. in rides in Cash, and Sheriff Cash, the hero of Blackwater for that day, for that whole year,
For that day,
or
forever, man.
forever, and pretty much says, "You're looking for me. Well, here I am," and literally saves Terry from getting blasted with a pump action rifle, and pretty much took a pump action for Terry and Zoe, and then that was a really defining moment in Terry's career as well, because he thought, the self-sacrifice of his sheriff, like how much, this is what my sheriff's willing to do for me. Like, wow. So that was a significant scene that, yeah, I think about. So I can pass it along to someone else who wants to answer that, whoever has one. I think I know what yours might be, Scarlett. Bud, Ashen, I don't, Azza, maybe you
Yeah,
guys.
you know mine.
Yep.
What is it then?
I don't know
Yeah,
if that was a
Scarlett, how about you?
decision made purely on fear, but you're talking about
Pragmatism?
Huxley, right?
Yes, I am.
Oh
Exactly.
my
Cliff
god.
Cliff and Huxley. Cliff and Huxley. That's what I think about. But maybe I'll leave that to you. I'll leave that to you to answer, whichever one you want to pick.
Yeah, this is one of Zoe's most defining scenes, and it was really crazy. It was at the end of the Bastards. The Bastards had been targeting her, and I speak about this so much, but it was such a good story. And they'd kidnapped Frank and Huxley and Zoe, and this was for retaliation for killing Domino. And they were like, instead of hurting Zoe, they were just going to hurt all of her friends. And they were going to do it while she was there. And they were going to make her watch, make her suffer, like have to relive kind of the pain that they were going through, uh, but not for herself, like just watching other people. It was really dark. And they took her up to a cliff, and they had Frank was in handcuffs. I think Huxley was in handcuffs too. Uh, Everyone's disarmed. We got no guns. And they were like, you have a choice. You can either push Huxley off a cliff, and that's the end of it.
Jesus.
That's done. We won't go after anybody. We're not going to kill anybody else. And Frank walks away. You walk away. That's it. It's done. Everything is done. And Zoe's like, what if I don't do it? And they go, well, then he's going off the cliff anyway. And then we're going to kill Frank. And then we're going to kill you. And then we're going to kill everybody else. And it was kind of like the trolley problem where you're like, do I take a life of somebody who Zoe loves dearly as a friend? Or does she just let everybody die? And it was such a hard scene. God. And that was probably the most fear RP I've ever done. And it was only half in character because it was freaking terrifying. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Fear RP, those characters had worked so hard to make that psychological. It wasn't about, pick up, execute, anything like that. They wanted to make her scared. They wanted to make her suffer. I loved the whole story. It was great. But yeah, for Zoe, the fear there was just unthinkable. So many things. And by the end of it, she just couldn't speak. She was just a mess. But she did it. She pushed Huxley.
And it was a great story too.
It was.
That's
Like
hard.
you allowed a moment of, I don't know if I want to call it weakness, but I want to call it like, you allowed your character to show vulnerability, like, and that's important, especially in any character.
Yeah, she was broken. But I don't know. That's what's important about Fear RP because you can have an entire story with Zoe not getting hurt, but it still feels so significant. That's the beauty of Fear RP.
Do you want to?
Oh, God, it's there's I don't get picked up as much into those situations, but the fear RP that I really really enjoy, that's not predominantly just one situation, is like Jim Lee stalking us, or the Jolly Rogers at the moment, and the way that again, they don't do anything, but you're scared of absolutely everyone. When a group or a person can make you fear just a random civilian because they may be working with them, that's crazy. That's great. So we're looking around now, not knowing who to trust. Um, and you go through those little little phases where you are just nervous at absolutely everything, and maybe a hard decision based purely on fear was, I think it's, I'm gonna go back to that Jim Lee fight. It was probably that,
Oh.
the fear of absolutely dying. Yeah, done absolutely everything, and that would be a decision. Yeah, there's no way out, nothing, absolutely nothing to do. That was the most terrifying time. The one-on-one fights are crazy.
For me, it would probably be the bastards going after Andy. Once Zip pissed off the bastards enough for put a war in the West to happen, and when Andy got super hurt, I didn't know if Mugi was gonna perma. At what point she was gonna perma? It was like a whole thing where I was like, "All right, this is it. This is where Zip loses his wife." And if that happened, then I would just. It's crazy saying Zip would be unhinged, but I think that would be the one thing. And it was just it was kind of one of those scenes. They had Zip up tied to a tree, and they were gonna machete Andy, and a bunch of stuff was happening to Andy, and Zip kind of finally realized like all of his choices has really like put other people in jeopardy, and he left. He left to go be a civilian, and he moved up to the snow and kind of just hid away for months, and that would probably be the one time where one of my characters had to make a decision purely based on fear, is the moving to Coulter and becoming a civilized man for 2 months.
I remember that.
Yeah, That's where
That
I
was awesome.
was friends with you and Sans a lot
Mhm.
on your Sand
Yep.
character.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
gave us a tour of the frontier and everything.
yeah. Hey, Zip had like a full 180 from just the chaos, and that was before the official Quill Gang or anything like that. But it was like he tried to leave the Kettleman Gang, he tried to do his own thing, and he just failed. Like brought total chaos to the West, and yeah, that's the only thing
I
I could
wouldn't say he
think of.
failed.
I mean, he did with. I'm talking like the Prophet Quill, Abigail Quill,
Uh,
Isaac
yeah, yeah,
Quill,
yeah.
the Quills part of the Quill Gang. And then
Okay.
once he kind of went up to Coulter, and it was Weller who kind of told the entire Kettleman gang, like, oh, well, Zip's trying to become a deputy. That made Zip be like, okay, there's nothing I could do to ever have these, like, deputies truly trust me. Like, so I might as well just go back into crime. And Zip robbed the bank that day. And it was it was kind of like, okay, well, this is like the coming back, but at the same time, the fear kind of RP led into him wanting to bring Sophie and Dawes and all of them that they were out robbing with. He wanted to bring them together because he knew the second he touched base back out west, he might have been hunted by the bastards. So he kind of wanted that group that would defend him if he did go back out west, even though I don't think it would have happened. Everyone was more at that time, everyone was closer to the bastards than they were to Zip. We were just kind of out robbing people. Um but it just I couldn't have predicted the like first edition of the Quill Gang ever.
Yeah.
I could have never
I
seen where that would have went.
I also remember when Andy was in like a coma and wasn't sure if she was going to make it out, and Zip was like, that was a lot of Zip. He used a lot of the humor to cover up emotion sometimes, but the humor is just a layer. I've said that before. But Dazza saw some of the most emotion out of Zip and fear was when his wife was in a coma, like not sure if she was going to wake up. I remember that.
Oh, you're talking about the coma where it was the locked in coma where she would be able to hear and everything, but she couldn't
Yeah.
speak.
Yep.
Like she wasn't gonna be able to talk or the
Yep.
it was what the doctor said, the prison in her own mind that just made Zip fucking lose it because he hated prison. He hated
Yep.
being like isolated. So when he heard that, he was about to kill his wife. He put a gun to her head on the medical table.
Yeah.
God, I remember that. I think I
Yeah.
also shot ferrets that day.
Yeah, you guys were like outside. I think Alice is the one that saved Andy in the end because she walked in as Zip was about to pull the trigger and kill Andy. And Alice like kind of walked in and then just everything started exploding. I think someone mentioned it outside, like, are you just gonna kill your wife or something like that? And Zip just lost it. And then Hoop cold clocked me as I ran out of the back of the medical office. Because on my point of view, the door was shut, so I didn't see Hoop out there at all. And I went to go flank, but he saw the door open the entire time. I'm glad he did it. I'm glad I didn't have to start an entire shootout in Saint Denis. But yeah, that's like the biggest thing that Fear has led, and the arcs that have led from my character's fear. But it was a different kind of fear. It wasn't like the fear of talking to someone. The bastards heard the fear in Zip's voice when he was talking to him, but not many other people were part of that because it was kind of like Zip had already pushed away everybody by that point. It was just him and Andy. But yes, Ozzy, you want to take the third question? It's labeled as 4, but I don't know why it did that.
Yep. So how do you balance your character's bravery or resilience with realistic fear responses?
I like that one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I suppose in character, just speaking of myself, it's always really really scared. scared of losing everything, scared of losing yourself, scared of the next enemy that might just be around the corner, which they normally are. But it all comes down to you've just got to keep being strong for everyone else around you all the time. You know, you've got your up and coming deputies. You got to set the image for the criminals. You know, if they see, you know, if you guys saw a deputy that's really, really scared, you're gonna cling on to that. It's a weakness, and but there is also those times where the balance is when you've got a scene, you do like a slash me handshaking, slash me looking around, and really kind of allowing people to understand, oh, this guy isn't really what he's trying to portray, what he's showing. It's about letting people in and seeing that little small part of it. But there's so many like behind closed doors where we're so nervous all the time, but that we just put on a show. Um, but there's so many different ways. But again, the balance is just allowing people to actually have that view that they're not all what they seem.
Yep, fair. My my answer to it would, if no one else has anything at the moment, I thought about it for a bit. So yeah, how do you balance your character's bravery or resilience with realistic fear responses? So I think ideally, when it comes to resilience, because I'm chalking this down to the when I played a deputy, when I played Terry, because I think about this, but you you don't want to be too resilient. You don't want your character to feel too resilient to the point where they're impervious to harm and they don't care about anything and they just
Mm.
literally, that it feels like they just don't care about anything and nothing affects them.
Hmm.
You don't want to be resilient to that point. And but you also want to show a certain degree of bravery as well because you're playing the good guy. The law is generally speaking, right, that I know that every lawman's different, but sometimes after playing a filthy outlaw degenerate, it's nice to log on and play the good guy. And I was doing both for a long time. Um, but yeah, you don't want to you want to be resilient without being too resilient, and you want to be also know when to put your foot down at certain points. Like a big arc for Terry was with George Doon, who was slowly losing his mind, and Terry's whole thing was my brother died like a dog. Like he died an outlaw's life and lived by the sword, died by the sword. And if he could be the hand that, he wasn't out to change the world. He wasn't out to eradicate all criminals or eradicate crime. He was out to make the little changes, make the little differences in people's lives. Like if he could be that hand that pulls someone out of the ditch for one person, even just one person, then he could, say I'm doing my job right. And a lot of the story he had with George Doon, who this man who was slowly like losing his mind, heavily indoctrinated by other characters, deep in the drugs, trying to pull this guy out of insanity and bring him back to sanity. There was a really good arc there for a while. Um, and there was that fear. Terry had that fear that he was going to fail these people that he cared about. He actually genuinely cared if this guy uh, succumbed to the outlaw life or not. You got to when I think what instantly elevates scenes is when if your lawman actually cares about the people they're trying to bring in, it adds an extra layer. If there's this weird, maybe not I'm trying to explain it properly, but you establish a rapport with the other side. I think once your deputy tries to understand or has a half understanding of the other side, it makes every scene more interesting. So that's kind of the balance to me. But yeah, anyone else
Yeah.
want to take it away?
Sure. Yeah. All very good points, especially from like the law side of things where you have to remain a just person. Um, but can still show fear in your resilience. Um, there's always going to be something that like pushes someone over the edge, right? You can be this stalwart sentinel where nothing bothers you, but someone's going to find that one thing that will push your limit. And maybe that's like a defined flaw that you have for your character. Maybe that's just something you kind of figure out along the way. Maybe that person is captured and tortured and now has a deep seated fear of a specific person, specific gang. I don't know. Like there's a myriad of reasons that these things can happen. Um, but like the limit of having those flaws, it's going to be on like a sliding scale as well. Um, it's gonna perpetually slide around. You're never gonna land on one specific spot the entire time that your character is around. Um, so finding a limit with that where the bravery kind of has a ceiling is really important. Um, I know with the now 2 characters that I've played in Law, uh, they've both kind of had their own separate ceilings of where they're okay, and then suddenly everything is awful and everything is crumbling. With Audrey, she was constantly in fear that her brother was going to be hurt, even though he was a sheriff. It was just like, well, you're my brother, so I'm gonna like fear for your life and fear for my own. Um, that is what ultimately got her killed was being involved in something like that. But showing enough fear for the situation and those around her. She was still brave in the face of it, but at the same time, there was only so much you can do, right? There's always going to be a breaking point for anybody. And for Dovey, uh, she's kind of always been this catalyst of showcasing strength and bravery, but she is also a very flawed character. Um, there's always gonna be some sort of limit for her, always. She's gonna, like, gain that strength from the people around her in every aspect of whatever she's doing. But, at the end of the day, when someone pulls her aside to see how she's actually doing, they close the door behind them, and she might just kind of break down a little bit, like, "The people that I swore to protect, including the people in this department, are getting hurt, and there's nothing I can do about it." That was, like, the big reason she joined the department in the first place was the people in the medical department kept getting hurt. One of her best friends was taken and killed the day that she was supposed to leave. Um, and that tore her up endlessly. So she's like, okay, well, I guess law is the answer to be able to solve that problem. And people still kept dying. So that's a conflict that she has and a deep seated fear of like, I can't get close to anybody, otherwise they're all gonna die. Um, yeah, it's there's always gonna be that breaking point in showcasing that resilience. Um, I don't know where else I'm going with that, but I think that about covers it.
Real quick, I'll touch on it kind of slightly. I think there is like a pocket that it'll take you time to find that sliver of like bravery, but also the fear. Because even though in a scene you could be, brave as much as you can, but you can let out little slash me's to show that you are truly scared. And that way your character is staying into character, but also the slash me's are telling like a whole different story of like, oh, this dude's just like he's just trying to put on a show maybe for himself or maybe for the other people there, because if he starts succumbing to the fear, then maybe they will. So I think it's the same with like the whole snitching aspect of it. Like if you're in an interrogation cell, you could snitch without having your character be a snitch by doing clearly lying as, slash me's, or the eyes kind of look up to the right when talking about a certain subject to where the deputy can pick up that you are lying about it. It's the same thing. I think you could stay truly into your character and use the slash me method as a way to kind of project that fear scene. Did everyone touch base on that? Because if so, then Scar, you could take it away with 5.
Okay, number 5. Are there characters in WildRP who you think really embody strong fear RP? What makes their portrayal stand out? This is a really hard one because I don't
These
know. I don't know.
I
Who
have
to
2 of
pick?
these in here right now. You and Ashen were some of the most fear RP I've ever gotten out of the server.
Oh,
Yep.
Bless your
do
heart.
you know what? Thank you. That's really appreciated. I think everyone in here is actually it's everybody fear RPs, but in such a different way.
Mhm.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna make it easy for me. I'm just gonna pick who's here. Um, Ashen, uh, your fear RP is freaking perfection because you've
Oh
got these
God.
strong characters, and you can see that they're trying to like stand up to people and be that strong figure. But then you can see on the cracks kind of showing through, and it makes it feel so real and amazing. It's like this brave person that's trying to keep it all together.
Thank you. That
Um,
means a lot.
and then Azza, Azza's sorry, but a freaking prick. And he's like he's being an asshole to people while he's fear RPing. And that's a really hard balance as well because you don't want to be like, yeah, fuck you. What are you going to do about it? We're just going to find and kill you later. But he gives that pushback while fear RPing, which I think is really rare and special. Um, Bud, Bud's just like nonchalantly dealing with murder and horrific violence. But then Zip is such a flawed character with so many fears that come through especially if you get to know him and what scares him. Um, yeah, like the perfect example of a bad guy, but that still has weaknesses and can fear RP. And then you got Legends, whose character is actually scared, in my opinion, most of the time. He's scared of losing people. He's scared of Sisika. He's scared of all of that. Um, and that kind of shows in, how he interacts with deputies and, wanting to get away, not wanting to go to Sisika. Like he feels like a really broken character, but he's still such a big, scary bad guy. And it's like so many different things. Um, outside of like the what you think of fear RP, just the oh please don't kill me kind of fear RP.
I I've gotten it. So when I'm playing when I'm playing Dazzle, I've gotten it most out of when you get that real raw like fear and emotion. You can tell that everyone's giving it their all to like give a good scene. It's you, it's two hands, it's Frank Sachs. Like gave me one of my best scenes up in Fort Mercer when that day when Isaac Quill died. Dazza lost his mind, literally, just went crazy, catatonic. Like all of his worst flaws came out. Everything that he tried to repress and suppress, it just this animalistic nature came out, and he lost himself, and he just started tearing things up in the crossing, looking for Zoe, looking for Sax because he blamed Sax. He thought he had to blame Sax in his mind. He just needed someone to hurt, like no matter who was at fault. And that was the day, yeah, like Sax was up in the fort and on the pier, and almost in tears, and like had a gun to him, and you knew he was about to be shot, and like the emotion that you gave there, Zoe witnessing that, and that whole scene was probably one of my favorite moments for Dazza. Um, yeah, and Two Hands always delivering on the long-term kind of Dazza and Huxley rivalry that stems back for literal years now in real life. So that's where I felt it the most from the law.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy in those scenes. Oh,
I
sorry,
and
you go
also
Legends?
I remember Snakeskin in, Thieves Landing as well, like, getting
Oh
knives thrown
god.
into him. The poor guy. That was such a good scene, like, you can really tell when people have that respect for you on an OIC level to actually provide that kind of role play, and I get that like, yeah, everyone here. Ashton, I wish I had more scenes with you. I feel
I
like we
know.
haven't interacted as much, but I don't have we ran into each other recently? Because I can't remember.
Um, I want to say one of the last times was when Daza was like approaching the deputies in Strawberry, or like just outside of it, like up on the hill to get to the taxidermy house,
Mm.
trying to talk about like people not coming into thieves, or if they did, that they had to have like a specific purpose. They couldn't just like roll up
Ah,
straight
yes.
into thieves and stuff. That was ages ago. I don't have the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
availability to play on the server that I used to be able to like
Mm.
play with most of you guys. My work schedule is very different nowadays. Um so I don't get the chance to interact with you guys as much, and that makes me very sad because you guys are awesome.
Big sad.
Big sad indeed. I've got a few
Uh,
people that I could very easily shout out, but I think you were trying to speak here, as so please go for it.
Oh, just yeah, just real quickly. Honestly, like
Absolutely.
on the prick on the prick note.
Sorry.
Way to go, Azza.
Uh, honestly, that's perfect because it's like it is giving that pushback, but then allowing people to have long-term fear RP and work the character down is kind of what I tried to go for. But like, yeah, in that scene with the Jolly Rogers, trying his best just to say something because you're gonna be angry as well. You know, anger and fear they coexist in these moments, and allowing them to snap that down and then gradually build the fear even more and break it out of you. I find it really really cool. Um, on terms of picking one person, I will shout out. Apart from all there's so much with with Zoe. Honestly, on the box gang hunting us down, that being on the run, so good. You know, showing fear without them being even around um, is crazy. And then the other person to shout out was Lester when I had her kidnapped for like 2 months in real life. Um, she was really good on Chester. Like really showed amazing fear and just made it all feel. I felt sick. I felt like I was actually doing it. You
When
know, and when people can do that and make you feel really bad for this for the things you're doing in game, that's crazy. So yeah,
when you first said
massive shout
that,
out.
I thought you kidnapped them IRL.
No, no,
By the way you said
I
that.
swear, I
Oh
swear,
God.
I swear. No, not. I didn't kidnap Lester. I swear, in real life, just 2 months in real life.
Yeah, no, I picked that up afterwards, but I'm like, wait a minute. See? Admitting to something right now?
Pure OOC bleed. Uh, you go, Ashen. I'm bridging off. I'm bridging off. I'll dig myself deeper.
You're good. You're totally fine. Um, I think there's two different like big sides of the coin for fear RP. There's those that can instill fear RP and those that can showcase fear RP in terms of like being scared, you know? Um, there are two that I've seen instill fear RP that even that is its own version of like a double-sided coin. Jack Hittleman is like right at the fucking top there. You know, every time his name was uttered, there would be just like this shadow cast around everyone that heard whatever conversation was going on. Like, wait, is he around right now? What's going on? What's about to happen here? Um, Everything that he got up to, just he left this wake behind him that people as players and role players were like eager to latch onto, but the characters were like, I'm running the opposite direction. This shit's terrifying. Um, on the other side of that, someone who is still able to like instill fear RP, but in like a respectful manner and showcase the weight of the fear. Mitch Sand, again, fucking top tier. If any of you ever get the chance to roleplay with Megley, or if you have, especially on Mitch, uh, him as a sheriff in the way that he can command a scene to showcase the general fear of whatever the situation is that's going on is a masterclass in showing how to instill fear and showcase that there is terror that is occurring, that there is conflict here, and that there is weight to whatever the other side is doing. He would always lend an extreme amount of weight to whoever he encountered. You know, someone who was robbing the bank, and if he was negotiating, They had a hostage. He would do absolutely everything that he possibly could in order to ensure that that hostage was okay. And I know it's a very general and vague thing, but he would constantly talk to them, like even interrupt the people that were in the negotiations because that was his main focus. If they, weren't showcasing as much focus on the hostage or just the situation in general, he would then point out the fear of, okay, well, you all have like taken this entire town hostage, right? There are people that have had to shutter their windows out of fear of catching a stray bullet. The bank tellers have run off for fear that they might die in your desire for wealth. The people across the street at the saloon are hiding behind tables because they're also terrified that you're going to come in here and use them as hostages. Like he'll find a way to showcase how big of a deal whatever is going on and buy in immediately. I think that's a great way to embody strong fear RP. And on the other side, Scarlett, you guys are fantastic, like top tier, just perfect case studies in how to showcase the exact same thing, the weight of the situation, the people that you are encountering. Maybe it's, a criminal that you've never met before, but they've heard about you and they're trying to get some information or they're trying to hold you hostage or something. You are immediately buying into it. You are immediately showcasing, yeah, okay, these people have guns. Like, I'm a trained deputy. I know how to defend myself, but they've got me in their sights and that sucks. So, what do I do to ensure that I'm going to get out of this while also still showing that your characters are human, that they have a very human response to whatever's going on? Um, Also, a big shout out to a lot of the people that play civs, that get roped into stuff. Even like the Saints Daily, we love them. They do a lot of great work, but then they also are taken like hostage and tortured and all this stuff. Just because of the work that they involve themselves in, the capacity that they have to involve themselves in the stories that are around them. Casper from the Saints Daily, he's fantastic and showcases fantastic fear roleplay while also still being believable. Like, I'm here to get the story ultimately, but I'm like terrified at the same time, right? So it's a good double-sided coin with that too. But yeah, that's what I got.
Nailed it.
Do you want me to ask the next question, or do we have anything else that we want to add to it?
I think we're good.
Okay. Um, so this next question is delving into the realm of like consequence. Um, how do any of you feel FRP raises the stakes in conflicts between characters, whether it's a standoff, a kidnapping, or just a tense conversation? But I want to know your answer on this.
Led, you want to go first?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, fine. Okay.
I haven't heard from him in a second, so
Fair. You know what? Fair.
It's a strategy move. Is going to make me answer, so he has time to think about his answer. But I've
Deflection.
already
We
got
love
an
it.
answer.
1,000%.
Um. Uh. So it goes back to what I was saying. I reckon little bit before, but like scenes are just so much more elevated when you're like every deputy that made an effort to try and get to know Dazza or to get to understand Dazza always had really great interactions with in standoffs. And you know, everyone that has tried to get inside of Daz's head and pick his brain, like Hooper is a big example of that. Zoe, um, Huxley, Sachs, um, a lot of people that are like, because as it stands right now, I feel like, you you might read about an outlaw, right? And a lot of deputies might make a judgment based on what they read, not based on the interaction itself. So I feel like, man, the things that get there on paper about Daz are like, yeah, it paints him in a certain light, and rightfully so. But it's the deputies that kind of go out and take that extra step to really kind of try and understand the character, that really elevates all of those standoffs in the streets, or standoffs in the town, or wherever. Um, and I think fear role play raises the stakes in conflicts because it really shows that it really it goes back to the term I love using, which is no selling. So ideally in a conflict, you don't want to no sell. No selling is when you try to make your opponent look as weak and crap as possible. And I
Yes.
hate it, and I wish it. Absolutely hate it, and I wish it happened less.
Thank you so much.
Um,
Thank you for that.
because I I really feel like conflicts are elevated when either side gives the other side respect, and a sign of respect is actually fearing what the other side might do and talking about it and giving them that weight. Um, a big, a real good example of that was I think Black Hats versus Quills, where um, literally we had a stat. It was one of my favorite shootouts that lasted. I think it might have been one of the longest shootouts I've ever been in, like 3 hours, lots of day and night cycles. Zip trying to get a cannon started to fire on us in the middle of a shootout. Um, and it was the preceding conversation, and he said, you know, whatever happens here, whoever goes down, whoever is lying in the dirt by the end of this, it's over. But if you go down, I'm taking your life. I'm gonna burn her alive. And like he made all these threats, and it was like, shit, we can't lose this. Like we need to rally, and we need to fight back, because if we go down, Lola's getting burned alive, and we know Zip will do it because Zip is Zip. And it really just really up to the scene, and like you can really tell when people have a, yeah, like I said, have a level of respect for you to give you that. Um, so yeah, like if I think a lot of good fear RP revolves around just don't no sell your opponent. Like just stop no selling people, please. Yeah.
We're gonna get like a segment in this podcast of just legends no sell moment. But I get it, man. I've seen it firsthand. I know the no sell and how much it in value weights. I don't know the word I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of. Yeah,
Invalidates.
Validate.
invalidates,
Yeah.
validates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like well, last thing I'll say is like you know, when you're in like you can tell, because like you'll either get a really big response, like about, you know, you'll get a good like a long scene out of it, or the scene kind of just devolves into, you know, you wanted, get out of town. And that's the deputies that don't really know the character, like it, or they don't feel like they know what to say. It's just like, you know, get out of town, you're wanted. And it's like I think there's a lot more potential to have more scenes that are kind of more intricate than that. And that's, yeah, the last thing I'll say on that point. Who else wants to take it?
I mean, that's like the prime opportunity to get to know that criminal, right? Like they're there and
Exactly, yeah.
they're basically inviting you into whatever conflict that they're trying to generate. And just by, you know, showcasing that, this isn't a big deal, just get out of here, you're being a bother.
Yeah.
That's awful. That's not great for
Yeah.
anybody. It sets a precedent that the people around you are also not going to take them seriously. That word is going to spread that, hey, these aren't big bad criminals, so I shouldn't actually be afraid of them. That's not good. Like
Mm,
that's a common misconception about law RP too, is that we have to be giving, and we are, but people mistake the kind of giving that we're supposed to be. People mistake it for, oh, well, they're negotiating, so that means I have to say yes to everything that they're asking, right? Or
yeah.
whatever they're trying to get out of this, we have to give that to them, right? That's not it at all. Being giving in law as a law character means um like providing the level of fear and buying into whatever it is that they're doing, like shouting from the rooftops how dangerous these people are, not speaking ill of them in a joking manner, because then, like, I don't know, people just don't take it seriously. But like always talking about how lethal that they are and can be. That's the kind of giving that we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be showcasing the lethality of their story, not, just giving into all their demands. Because what lawman actually does that, right? But yeah, that's what it means to actually be giving in law RP, is to like give weight to the situation and the story that is being presented to you.
Yeah, and it stops the vicious cycle of of like, you know, oh, they're treating me like a joke, so I'm going to treat them like a joke, and then it's just like it kind of goes around the circle like that way, and that's
Hmm.
like what we usually want to avoid.
Absolutely.
when it could be the opposite. When you start selling their deputy, and they'll be like, "Oh shit, this is what we're doing." Like instead
Yeah.
of countering it with the thing that you don't like, just keep doing what you like, and it'll start to show them like how impactful that little adjustment to the phrasing could be. The whole lead by example thing.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to touch base off the PRP raise the stakes question?
The only thing else.
Yeah,
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead, please. Nope. Go ahead,
No, you
please.
go.
Yep, go.
Okay. The only thing with that for me, fear RP, fear of people doesn't come from PvP. It doesn't come from, being
Yes.
picked up and executed. Like PvP is great, it's fun and everything like that, but that's not why you should be scared of somebody. It's all of the scenes that happen in between that build that tension, that
Yes.
build like that interaction between the characters that makes that beautiful fear.
That's a great point.
Yep.
The in-between stuff is what makes stuff believable. It's what makes your character feel like a living, actual person, you know?
Yeah. Like the more you interact with a criminal, not shooting at them, the better everything will be later.
Mhm.
Yeah. Honestly, like on that point, uh, just use the goons again. We kind of took it all. Everything stands down to trust, really. But you kind of know when it's you're always fearing each other, and they did a great job at making me as a lawman feel like I was scaring them. Um, and then it was the other way around, and we took it in turns. There was times where there was 4 of them and just me, but I felt like I could be St. John with them, and they weren't gonna do anything at the time. And they're really good, at doing that, and I do the long-term fear, though, that building the lore up, as you say, Scott, is just is so good, and it makes that final if you get an execution, if you get an arrest, it makes that so much bigger, like, so much greater, and you fear that end point. Having an end point in it as a goal, if they finally get us, they're gonna do this. Amazing. So it does raise the stakes for that end point.
It's also just like a chance to invite someone into the story that you're trying to tell.
Mm.
Um, it's a certain vulnerability of like, I'm presenting you with an opportunity. I'm showcasing the the conflict that I'm trying to bring here, and then by showcasing the fear of the situation for yourself, for those around you, for the general atmosphere, um, it is proving a point that they mean what they say. That what they're doing is going to bring great harm to people or to an organization or whatever it is that they're trying to engage in conflict with. Uh, it's just a building block and that invitation to continue on with it. And the more that you lean into that, the more that people are going to want to engage with that as well, right? So uh, I think that's why certain people are sought after because they showcase a desire to want to build on those stories, to show the weight of whatever it is that is going on. Um, yeah. Uh, Yeah, I think that's all the brain power that I had on that one.
I really want to read what Snail just wrote in chat because I think it is such an amazing point. Is that all
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
So it's about hopefulness in scary scenes. Fear without the hope of escaping is just despair or resignation. The best scenes I've been in, you're thinking, maybe I can get out of this unscathed. The slimmest margin of hope is where fear lives.
Yeah, I
I
like
Yeah.
that.
I relate to that
Yeah.
so, 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 so much. I cannot even explain to you. Like, if people did criminal, like hostile RP like that with that hopefulness, everything would be so much better. You know, when you get picked up and you're like, are they going to hurt me? Are they not? Can I talk my way out of this? Can I get out of it? That is the best thing in a scene. Um, and I will RP my little heart out for those because you are actually genuinely trying to save your character's life and you feel like you can maybe save your character.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get picked up and someone says, I'm going to kill you, there's nothing you can do or say about it. Um, that kind of can kill fear RP for me a little bit because it's kind of like I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna give my everything in the scene and I'm gonna, Zoe's gonna cry and she's gonna beg and everything like that. But in the end, the outcome's predetermined. So
Yeah.
that little bit of hopefulness makes or breaks a scene for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Agreed.
going for the easy, everyone's been in that scene. Even on my lawman, I've been in that scene. Like people just, they'll put you on the back of the horse, they'll take you somewhere, and they'll just insta down you, in cap you, and it's like okay. But there's so much more you can do with that. Like one of my favorite, I said it last stream, but one of my favorite scenes to do was like Dazza had a long-standing feud with Huxley, like lured him to Holly's grave using a setup, surrounded him, and then took him to an island. But instead of just like insta downing him, give him a chance to fight his way out of the situation, Dazza pretty much said, "Everyone stay out of it." Put a gun in his hand and said, "We're going to fight it out. If you are worthy of it, you'll leave this island alive." And they had a shootout. Like instead of just robbing and downing and dumping, like give people a chance to escape situations.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it's more
so
fun.
good. Yeah, I mean the Jolly Rogers did that for us as well. It's they took Saint John and Zoe. Zoe gets away, but they were doing it really well. That they gave me chances to escape too, which Saint John did in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then when they got us the other day, that way of prolonging the fear even more by accepting Zoe's deal, um, and still making it scary. Really, really great, really great.
Even in like a situation where hope is just a sliver of like actually being present, leaning into how terrifying things are can still like lean into the stake of whatever is going on. Um it was kind of a brief scene and it was like almost purely by accident. Uh it was the day that Schaefer was leaving the crossing for like 6 months. So he was like hosting a party. They all decided to go out to Blackwater to get into like a fist fight in the lumber yard just for fun. And of course, it's like all deputies that are present for this. Uh, there was hardly anyone else in town when out of nowhere, there's like a group that just runs in, masks up, guns out, and they go and rob the bank. So they're all like, okay, well, none of us are on duty, but let's go ahead and try and take care of this. And no one knew who it was. Like the negotiations and stuff did not yield any information as to who was in this group. Um, not until the resulting pursuit that led out to Beecher's Hope, uh, that ended in a shootout. Scarlett, you were there on Zoe,
Oh, I
and
remember.
yeah, everyone was shot down except for Zoe and Audrey, and it ended up being the Dead End Gang and Wallaby leading the charge there. Uh, I got split off kind of randomly. I don't really know how it happened, but like I knew that I was like kind of fucked at that point. So like I think it was two or three people went and found her, brought her back to the rest of the group, and at that point, it was literally just Zoe and Audrey standing there, everyone else on the ground and bleeding out and like, "Oh, this sucks." And then they realized that it was Audrey who at that point, um, Mitch was involved in that whole Peaches and Sissika fiasco, and Wallaby wanted nothing to do with like a good resolution. Well, obviously, like in terms of like story, yeah, cool resolution, but wanted his revenge for everything that had happened to her. And he was like, "Oh, so your brother was there and present with, Malone and Rabbit and all the shit that happened to Peaches. So hey, that sucks." And shot her point blank with a pump action shotgun. Uh, I remember being there and standing there and like being so fucking terrified of what was going to occur and knowing that there was just a sliver of hope that she was going to be okay, because Zoe was still there and on her feet and could like go and get help immediately. That was the only hope that she had, was there's still someone that can help us, knowing that he was probably going to seek some sort of retribution for whatever happened. And she got shot down because of it and just had a really awful time. But literally the only way that she knew that she was going to survive it was because there was a singular other person there that was hopefully gonna get them out of there. Um, but yeah, that was nuts.
That was such a good scene.
It was very good.
Okay, are we good to move to the next one? Any other topics? Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Have you ever had to pull back from a scene because someone wasn't fear RPing? How do you handle that, OOC, out of character? I think this kind of
I'll answer.
goes. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll answer this one first because um yeah, look, I'll keep it like vague, but you know, everyone has had that as an outlaw or a criminal, right? I mean, there's no denying it. Everyone's had that one scene where you try and, you try and rob a saloon or you try and rob, an establishment and you just get the 10 eye rolls and it's like, okay, time to dip. No one's enjoying it. What was the point of this?
Mm.
Yeah. So like,
Yep.
the eye rolls and the size.
Yeah,
Can I
that's
can I put you? Oh, sorry. Carry on, bud.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm putting Azza on the spot for this one. What's your saying, Azza?
Oh, okay.
Let's
When
hear
in
it.
doubt, pull out.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. Words to live by. Truly.
Oh my god.
It- I think. Cheers, that one's good.
You're welcome. It's good
I
advice.
think it is good advice. I think if I've never personally had it, I've always been very lucky on the criminal side of it, and law side. You get some times where you think, oh my god, that could have been better. But I've not had like a crazy one where I've had to really, um, think of anything. But I think that the main answer here is just to try your best, keep going. And if it doesn't work, you pull out and you go and try and tell a different story.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
You
eh,
got me there.
at the end of the day, like you're not only there for your character, you're there to also bring RP to the people that are in the saloon and stuff. So if they're not vibing with it, then it exactly what you said. Just pull out of it, figure something else out, and or go somewhere else, or go interact with people that are wanting that sort of role play to happen to them. Because they're out there. There are people out there that want to be robbed. They want to be held captive. They want to do that for their story arc and for them to make a story out of it. So you just gotta, find the people that are there for that sort of RP at the time.
That's how I feel about it too. Like, if I'm robbing somebody or I'm doing something criminal to somebody or any kind of RP, and I can see that someone is not enjoying it, like they're eye rolling, they're sighing, they're like, "Ugh, "Is it over yet?" Um, like that makes me feel shit because I'm like, "Am I
Right.
doing something wrong here?" Like, I don't want to
Mm.
subject somebody to a scene that they're not having fun in. Like, I'd rather just find a way to leave and get out of it.
It's always a bit of a
And I,
challenge, right? Like
yeah,
you want people to have fun with whatever you're engaging in and needing to like read the room to see whatever you're trying to bring to the table if it's hitting or not. Sometimes it doesn't, and some people don't want that at all. Uh, but like it's also just kind of a natural part of the environment that we currently role play in. So no one's really immune to it.
Right.
Uh, it is difficult to work through, but like as I said, just you kind of have
Yeah.
to work through it regardless. You still have to give it your all because if you compromise even for a second with the kind of quality of role play that you're trying to bring to the table, just because someone is like very clearly just not having a good time with it, like it's very nonchalant sort of an attitude. They're not afraid of anything. That doesn't mean that the next person won't be. That doesn't mean that the next person doesn't deserve your best. So it's still just trying to like work through it is probably for the best. It's hard because what am I saying? You kind of lose motivation a little bit when someone just kind of pushes it to the side to like, yeah, this is boring. You're wasting my time. Okay, great. And it's like, okay, well, you're not wasting my time because we're currently having a conversation here. There's absolutely a way to like get out of that in as kind a way as possible. Find that out in whatever makes sense in the conversation, but still trying to not compromise on the kind of role play that you do bring to other people so that, even if they say, yeah, this person over here, they held me up and it was kind of bullshit or whatever. So they might be talking to someone else about it and they're like, oh, well, who was that? Oh, that person, they're highly notorious. They're a lethal killer and all this. And they're like, yeah, I didn't really care. Then, who's got egg in their face at that point? So you just kind of do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Mm.
I mean, there's definitely, and like, if people are delivering, low effort scenes and like, the bare minimum, sometimes, it's warranted. Not that I'm saying bring OOC into in character because no one should ever do that. Like, but there, maybe if there is actually, if it's actually genuinely like a not a good robbery scene, I can get why people would feel OOC, like, they let it slip, you can tell. But then there's the times where it's, I feel like it's unwarranted and it's like, yeah, ideally you want both sides coming out of it feeling good, and the way to do that is like, maybe instead of just blindly robbing the place, ask everyone their name, ask them if they want to, come up with things to do, come up with ways to make the hostages participants, like make them, I don't know, maybe if you're a more lighthearted crim, make someone fight someone to get the gun back, or get their telegram and try to sell them the gun back, and that gives them a chance to either, like, tell law or set you up, or actually arrive and try and buy the gun back. Or there's ways to continue that role play from the robbery. Give them an avenue to know who you are, so there's more story afterwards. Don't just go in there masked up, all black, no names, and then just rob the place blind, and then give them no chance to really know who you are or continue any story.
Right,
That's a great
because
point.
you could ride up to someone, right, that you're about to get into this, and they might have just been robbed right before you rode up on them. So the second they see you, but it's kind of like one of those things where I think it's important for everyone to wipe whatever happened moments prior before you interact with someone new, and don't say, okay, well, the last time I did this to a deputy, they did this. Forget all of that, because that's just going into the scene with, frustrations already. If you just start each scene, each interaction like it was the first one of the day, I think that will kind of make things a lot easier when it comes down to each moment for that new interaction. Because I think that's where a lot of frustrations come, is if they just had a long day, it's almost impossible uh to not get
Yeah.
demotivated, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know about a long day. I mean, that factors, but I think if you get robbed 5 times and it wasn't, it's like all in black, masked up, they've taken your sentimental guns, you've never seen them again, and then the sixth group rolls up onto you, it's really human to be like, oh no, like I
Yep.
hope this is going to be okay. Um, Not that I crim that much anymore, but my solution to that was like, I'm never going to rob anybody that I haven't been interacting with a little bit first. And then you can kind of
Mhm.
see if they'd be receptive to it or not. Because
Mhm.
riding straight up to somebody with guns out, I think a lot of people kind of prickle at that.
Mhm.
And if you start on a like bad or an unsure footing, it's hard to come back from that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyone else want to touch base on this one? I'll take that as a no.
Nope.
Ledge, you want to read the next one?
How does Fear RP enrich long-term storytelling and character arcs? Can it drive meaningful change in a character? I mean, yeah, that's freaking obvious. I mean, yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
right.
Yeah.
That's a stupid question by me. I think I'm asking obvious questions. um,
How about how does
there's some,
Fear RP change your character?
yes.
Mm.
Well, I used the example before, but every time Dazza went into Sisika, he came out very different. To the point where he was losing his mind the more and more he'd get it. Like the more he'd go into prison, the more he had experiences with the guards. Um, the more he'd be locked up in solitary. Your character changes every time. Dazza started as like a goofy scam artist, like running from town to town, getting chased by deputies. It was more like very light-hearted start to his story, just some kid off the street. And that's the thing. I feel like you want to start your character as far away from their endpoint as possible. You don't. I feel like to be honest, a lot of what I'm seeing these days is like a lot of people introducing characters. They come in and they're maybe 1 week old and they're already acting like they've, I don't know, killed 50 people, and it's like build your character up to that point. Um, because if you're already introducing your character at a point where that doesn't feel like they're scared of anything, like what's the point in that? Like build up to the point where you're notorious and have that kind of respect and rapport in the crossing with everyone. Don't just like try and earn that within the first week. I'd say build it up. Yeah, start your character as far away from their endpoint as possible, so you have something to build to and change and grow along the way.
We love character development.
Yep, love it. Anyone else got an opinion on change in characters and how Fear RP facilitates that change? Any thoughts on that?
I mean, Zoe's a completely different character to when I started
Hmm.
playing her. She was like this innocent little girl that never used to swear and was like, I see the best in everybody. And then the more stuff has happened, I've tried to keep the kind of core of who she is, but I mean, she's so broken now. I mean, she
Yeah.
she's just a mess, but in a fun way, I hope. Like everything that happens, I have to either change Zoe or like I try to change something.
Right, lasting
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah, like she'll have a new long-term fear. Uh like she's terrified of being like restrained, handcuffs, ropes, things like that. Thank you, Zip. Um,
What does Zip
I'll
do?
like add something. Yeah.
Been nothing but nice.
Yep.
Yeah, there's sorry, go ahead. You
Oh no,
you
go,
had
no,
it.
no, you go, you go, you go.
Okay, cool. Um yeah, it can be like a good foundation for long form stories just in general. Um like fear in real life is going to draw, or what am I saying? Drive a lot of the desire for solution. So why can't it do the same thing in role play? Um I have an example from a character I used to play. It was Roxy that was formerly part of the Northwest Gang. Um I had a fun and unique opportunity to join a shootout with the 10-ton gang. Just love them all to pieces. They're fantastic people. Just one of the best gangs in the entire history of the server. Uh, just happened to like randomly find them in Thieves. I was off by myself, and they were just kind of trying to figure out who she was. And then all of a sudden, the law showed up, and they were there for them. They had just blown somebody up and killed them, and I had no idea. But like, there were only 4 of them, and there were 6 law. So I was like, "Oh, that's an interesting opportunity." So like pulled Chompy aside and was like, I know we've just met, but do you need a hand? uh and he's like, cool, yeah, get in here. Got into a shootout. It was a lot of fun. They all ended up getting caught and sent to Sisika and stuff. And whenever she got out, she was confronted by her group and they were like, hey, so what happened there? And she panicked because on an out of character level, it was just these are really cool role players and I really want to play with them. But an in character level, I didn't really have a good explanation other than they needed help. And uh, Roxy told uh, her partner Bax, "Oh yeah, they asked me to join." Just I don't know why, but she just lied immediately because she was afraid that admitting that she just wanted to help out was kind of a weird thing because that was another thing with the Northwest gang is that they were all just incredibly loyal to one another. They didn't help out other gangs unless it was going to directly benefit them. Um, so it didn't make sense for her to help out. And I couldn't come up with a good enough reason to be like, yeah, absolutely. Just yep, just really wanted to role play with these people. And that turned into this whole arc of them not trusting her anymore because eventually they found out that she lied. They confronted the Ten Tongue Gang and they're like, "Hey, you got our person captured and hurt and sent to Sisika. What the fuck?" And they're like, "No, she actually asked to join us." So that turned in
Oh.
like, uh-oh. One of
Immediately
the
exposed.
yeah, it's just like, oh shit. It was like a week later they found out like, oh no. One of the members of the gang, Kelly Jackson, played by Specky, turned that as a catalyst to like go against the gang entirely and decided to teach her a lesson and took her up to that homestead in Roanoke near the big waterfall, made her put her hands on top of one another on top of the table and shot straight through them, shooting off a couple fingers on one of her hands and shooting a complete hole in the other. So they were completely useless, and she just couldn't do anything for a while. That incited more in gang violence of Bax trying to defend her, but also being like, I don't trust a goddamn word that comes out of your mouth. And that all came from uh the fear of like losing who she was close to. She lied because she was afraid that the truth was going to make things worse, but in turn made things way worse. So it's just a different kind of fear role play of these are the people that I'll do anything for and I'm afraid that if I say that I was disloyal to them and I just went and helped out that they're going to hate me. It ended up being that they just hated her because she completely lied about the situation instead.
Yeah, it adds such a bigger impact to the scene when
Mhm.
that sort of thing it volleys.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Anyone else want to touch base on it?
One quick thing, because before I lose it, Bud, what you brought up before about using the emotes to kind of make it known that your character's lying, that's something I grappled with for a long time on Dazza, especially because when you have a character that's, instilled with these like fundamental core, like Western values of the culture of the server, it's like, he was taught, you don't rat on anyone, you not even your enemies. You keep zip tight about, your enemies and all that. And it's like, and then I'd struggle because it's like, crap, I want to give these guys more. I want to give the law more. How do I do that? And the emotes is really a good way to like make it known that you're lying. Like they ask you a really hard hitting question, you kind of go silent or your eyes drift off somewhere. And there are ways to be giving without necessarily like revealing everything,
You
which
mean
is
instead
Yeah.
of just saying that
Yeah.
you got shot by a cougar?
yeah, exactly, like stuff like
I fell on a bullet.
yeah. There are ways
I got
to
stabbed
yeah,
by
like
Italian bears.
exactly, like there are ways to be giving without being unrevealing. Like you can, yeah, emotes, the character mannerisms, like in the eyes with the gestures. What are they doing? Deputies
Mm.
will pick up on that, and then they can add that to their investigation. Like if they interrogate someone, say they take them to the interrogation room, they can put in their, their documents. Like when this question was asked, this was the reaction I noticed, and that they can use that as to more driving points for other people. to further an investigation. So there's ways you can get around it, which was a learning curve for me, which was good to be reminded of. But that's what I wanted to say before we move on to the next question.
Nice. That's a great point. Thanks for adding that.
I mean, that one is really important. I remember dealing with Growler all the time when it was the Goons investigation, and he was standing strong, not showing much not in a bad way, just in character, not showing the fear to the law, but gradually begins to crack. The pressure mounts up, and then the slash me's all start, the shaking, and then bang, got him. I know what's going to make him tick. I know what's going to make him, and then it's really important. Slash me's are so good, so telling. So yeah, you're right.
There's also like a whole cool emote menu now that can also visually showcase what you're trying to do. I know I constantly forget about it, but the good old foundational slash me's of showcasing how your character's feeling, but then also try out one of the 1,200 emotes that are out there. I'm sure you'll find something that
I gave
works.
Dazza the permanent frown face, like his eyes are always like
Hell yeah.
slanted and look angry.
Amazing.
That's better than having to deal. I had to do Fear RP on, I think it was Ernie, with someone that was doing the seductive face, and it was so fucking hard to that. Like I ended up kind of laughing in character. They're like, "Are you crying?" And I just played it. I was like, "Oh, thank God they gave me that opportunity to just make the laugh sound like a cry." So I just started going way deeper into the crying aspect of it, just because it was so fucking hard to take them serious. Because I'm in first person in a conversation, like one-on-one, I'll go first person a lot, and just seeing that face stare back at you, it was almost impossible to deal with. Fucking that face is so funny, especially when it changes when they talk too. Oh my God, it's such a fucking
Yelling face.
yeah. Okay.
What have I done to make suddenly pandas scared of role playing with me? I wonder. I hope the interaction with Dazza wasn't life altering.
Played a spooky criminal.
Yeah. Good day, pandas. What's the next question?
It's Aza 11.
Are there unspoken rules or social expectations around Fear RP, and how do veteran players influence new ones in that regard? I'll go comment on the social expectations on it. I suppose if you think Fear RP, you think putting your hands up, crying, no, please don't. I suppose that's the first thing you think about, especially if you're a new person coming in. But there's, again, as we've spoken about, so many ways to portray fear. Um, just accepting what people are doing, talking, being people's hype man. Oh God, there's that criminal that's coming to town. Watch out. It doesn't have to be what you initially think. There's just so many different ways to portray it. The slash me's we've spoken about, the just everything. I don't know if anyone else has got anything on this one, but
I definitely think for people that have been around on the server longer, there definitely is that there's this a little bit of unspoken, maybe pressure or responsibility that you feel like you need to kind of guide the new faces, like especially like even on the outlaw end. Like I've been playing Dazza for like what 2.5 years, maybe 3, and that you do kind of feel this unspoken. Maybe it's pressure. I don't know how to describe it. Pressure, responsibility, or you want to try and drive story and show people the ropes who might be playing new criminals or outlaws or whatever. And I think people that have been around longer, yeah, there definitely there's it all comes from the top. It all funnels down from the top, right?
Mhm.
Like for people that have been around longer, the newer people will come in and they'll see what the older people are doing and they'll replicate that maybe subconsciously or consciously. I don't know. What do you guys think
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, I'd absolutely agree with that. Leading by example is a really big deal um, on both sides of everything. Uh, Learning to instill fear in people can be really hard for people who maybe aren't that conflict driven in real life. Uh, Playing a criminal I know is kind of hard for me because I generally just want to be like nice to everybody. So having to be mean and like showcase that my character can be an awful person is really hard. On the other side of things, having the kind of the unspoken rule of always yes anding whatever is brought to you, especially when it's fear RP. Because again, that is an
Yeah.
invitation from someone trying to invite you into the role play that they are offering. They are showcasing vulnerability. They're showcasing that uh, they're looking for a scene partner, and just kind of backing out of it or showing a nonchalant attitude doesn't really do anything for the scene. It doesn't lend any credibility to whatever is going on. So just whatever they're saying is true, believe it. Even if like maybe your character has no idea who they are, and they're trying to set the ground rules for how awful their character is or how deadly their character is, believe them. Believe them immediately. Um, Even on like the law side of things, um, you have to believe whatever someone is showcasing to you. Uh, so yeah, trying to lead by example that my God, yeah, this person is just a horrifically deadly person. They've killed so many people, or even if someone is trying to get established, and you can tell that they are trying to get their feet underneath them. Um, you're holding the entire town hostage. You've got a hostage on a cliffside, and you're about to push them right off. There's all kinds of ways that you can showcase to them in that moment that you do believe them with what they say.
Uh, Legend Scar. Did you guys want to say something about it?
Oh, I think I went first on it, so I'll hand it off to
Oh,
Scar.
oh, Scar.
I might just link this with the next point, if that's okay.
Yeah,
Which
if you
is,
Yeah,
just,
do it. Go for it. Go for it.
yeah.
have you ever had resistance from people who didn't want their characters to appear weak or vulnerable? How do you respond to that? That's kind of the same thing to me with like social expectations around fear RP. You know, deputies want to be, uh, you know, respected and feared and everything like that. Same with criminals. And showing weakness by being scared is kind of a hard thing to do. I see a few examples of this. Sometimes people say to Zoe, literally in character, God, you're kidnapped all of the time. You know, maybe just next time, just be boring. Tell them they're boring. like, I'm like, guys.
Wow.
Yeah, like basically the advice is sometimes, well, if you just act bored and uninterested and unscared, they'll leave you alone.
That's awful.
Flawless logic.
Yeah, which is really terrible. I'm sure it works, because people want to kidnap the people that are gonna do the fear RP and
Mhm.
add to the scene. And if that means you get kidnapped 40 times in 9 months, that's okay. um,
You know what that means? It means that people trust you, right? They're
yeah.
trusting you with your story. It's not that, oh, it's an easy target. Not in the slightest. Like Zoe is very hard to catch sometimes. And all it is that they know that you are a trusted role player that they can go to with a crumb of a story, and you're going to turn it into a whole ass cake, you know?
Absolutely.
That's appreciated.
Yeah.
So for me, I guess a challenge is I get a lot of shit for that. I get, oh my God, you're always kidnapped. What are you doing that you're always kidnapped? Why are you alone? Why aren't you traveling with 5 people? Um, Sometimes I just want to go hunt by myself. And then I get that pushback all of the time. And it can feel really, I hate to use this word, but like victim blamey.
Mhm.
Um, and I kind of struggle with that because it's like I'm okay with it, you know. I'm happy to have the story. I'm here to role play, but people do see getting kidnapped or doing therapy or being scared as like a weakness and something that has to be fixed. Um, and then the same thing with law. Like sometimes Zoe comes across a gang and they've hurt her and she's scared of them and she's speaking with a stutter and she's like messing up a little bit because she's scared. Um, and then the response can sometimes be, oh, someone else needs to speak, or maybe you shouldn't be here. And I guess what I'd love to see more is people supporting fear RP, whether that is deputies letting other deputies be scared or criminals letting other criminals being scared without kind of pushing that you've got to be brave, you've got to be strong, you got to be perfect all of the time.
You know, it perfectly ties in
Yeah.
with the same thing that we were talking about earlier with like, the deputies are huddled at the office and they're talking shit about a certain criminal or a gang. They're like, yeah, they run. Aren't they cowards? Like, that's not conducive to building weight to that story. And the same thing for someone who might be frequently kidnapped, saying, hey, how about, have you tried not being kidnapped lately or whatever? That's the same thing. Like, down talking that lessens the severity of the actions that have happened to them. Like, Zoe's gone through a lot. She could have gone through something horrifically tragic. And if someone says something akin to, oh, well, that's just another time that she's been kidnapped, that completely negates everything that's just happened. It's very much like a what is it? The boy who cried wolf sort of a thing, but in the opposite sense. It's not like, she's not doing that by any means. It's people believe that it's not that bad because it happens frequently. It's just because you're leaning into the role play. It's just because people trust you. And saying anything rude in the sense that, hey, this isn't okay because X, Y, and Z, it's now completely downplaying the scene that you had with whoever it was. It could be the box game that shows up that holds you hostage because they're trying to get a very specific gun back or something. And like if they're downplaying that, then they're not respecting everybody in that scene, you especially, and that's not okay.
Agreed. Wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah,
Eh,
same on the yeah, I really I appreciate that response. Same with the criminals, you know. Maybe people go, God, we're really hurt. Like I'm scared to take this fight. Like I don't think we can take this fight. But I can guarantee you that if someone in a gang said that to a bunch of other criminals, they'd be like, what the hell are you talking about?
right.
Hmm.
And you have that pressure all of the time.
Yeah, I feel like if your outlaws are measured by law about how many times they've shot people down, if that's the scale of what is used to judge how dangerous someone is, that's where it gets kind of dangerous, I think, in general, because like like a lot of that stuff, not wanting to appear weak or vulnerable, I've seen a lot of it. And I've seen because I'm maining an outlaw right now. A lot of it's in the outlaw versus outlaw stuff, to be honest. Like
Mm.
that's where I see most of it. Like everyone, I think everyone wants that triumphant moment of like that Clint Eastwood movie-esque moment of standing over six bodies, right? And it's like, okay, fair enough. Everyone wants that, right? Deep down, maybe. Um, but it's realizing, that moment will come. You don't have to rush to that moment. You don't have to do that by completely no selling the other side and going really hard and like making it super PvP focused. I feel like a lot of why people don't want to have their characters appear weak or vulnerable is because, well, it's ego, it's pride, it's vanity. Um, so it's learning to leave that at the door.
Well, still,
Any Anyone else want to touch base on it?
All good over here.
I think there's a lot of people that are sometimes underestimated as well, because fearing. I'll just link on deputies, um, being the big vocal person at the front of a posse of six, compared to someone that's a really, really great detective. You know, that great detective that's doing all the finding the fingerprints on you to pin you on a murder. They're the they're the people that you really need to fear sometimes, and it could be just someone that you just wouldn't deem your atypical person to fear, but there's a lot of weight into them, and yeah, these are people that you need to remember that they're in and around Dalloway. Used to, oh God, getting her in an interrogation. My God, they're just a different way to fear it. But yeah, I don't. There's sometimes where the investigation. I'd love some more investigation RP. Um, I know
Yeah, I'd
there's a
love.
lot going on. Sometimes
I'm
that
dying to get shoved in a cell. I'm sorry. I'm dying to get shoved in an interrogation room one day. I'm just saying.
yeah,
Please,
pull
please.
you in.
It's hard with a
Sometimes,
Western outlaw because you admit to everything anyways. Like,
Yeah, I guess it is harder. It is harder. But like I feel like there's more I could offer in like an interrogation setting, like behind a desk. Um I don't yeah, I just I really want one of those scenes where it's like this office environment, the freaking lamps on, there's like three deputies, hands on table, like asking all these questions that I can't really answer to the best of my ability. Like there are some things that, because also part of being a Western outlaw is that you can't talk about your enemy, and then they're going to ask you about your enemy, and it's finding ways to like do those emotes and stuff. Like I feel like there's so much you can do there, even with
Mhm.
Western outlaws.
yeah, I didn't have one on Zip until Dead End Gang, like where Zip couldn't be vocal about everything he was doing. It took a long time for that scene to happen, which is kind of holding yourself back in the end. But I think we're on 14, right, Ashton?
Are we? Oh wait.
Yeah, and then
Oh, okay.
once we're done with 15, uh, we're all gonna play like a clip of our favorite or something that we have documented of Fear RP and stuff like that, and then we'll be wrapping it up. So go ahead and take it away, Ashton.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I think Ledge kind of touched on this a little bit. But do you think ego gets in the way of effective fear RP, and how can the community support more humility in character development? It's a
Yeah,
great question.
yeah, this is a really good question.
This is a big one. This is a big one for me as well. Like I'll let I touched on it a bit. I'll answer it again. Like, but I'd rather someone else go first. I'd like to hear more thoughts on this. Bud, what do you think?
I
What do you
think
think about?
ego. My whole stance is ego is the biggest RP killer ever.
Yes. Yep.
Um, I think when your character has an ego, or even you have a ego about your character, it just you don't allow amazing RP to come your way. Like it'll never happen because that ego is blocking a lot of you know the the scenes that will never happen because someone's ego got in the way is insane. And I've been on both ends of it, where the ego came from our side or it came from, the
Yep.
side that we were going on. And it just, when you have like a expectation of what your character would do and that they wouldn't be scared of, this criminal or this deputy or something like that, you're erasing an entire aspect of roleplay that doesn't get touched on a lot, especially with the crimin law areas. It's just I've always been very against leave your ego at the door type thing when you're role playing. It's why, and I'm just gonna say it. It's why I'm not a fan of GTA RP. Is
Yeah.
ego is the number one thing in GTA, and it's not everywhere, but I mean, I think we can all kind of see a moment in GTA RP that if you've been in or that you've seen that just okay, why? But
That is the thing with both environments, though. In a Red Dead setting, because we're so far removed from the present day, it's much more difficult to be like a play a self-insert, I guess.
right,
Which is not to
Yeah.
say that when you play on 5M that everyone's doing that, but in a more modern setting, you're more prone to thinking like yourself versus the character that you're playing
right,
because it's more familiar territory versus something completely like this where it's almost entirely escapism from real life. It's something that happened 120 years ago, you know? Uh it is much more difficult to have that ego because you can separate yourself from your character a little bit easier.
yep. Car
As a
Azza.
Scarlet.
Ah, I I could go on about this forever and ever and
Yeah,
ever and ever.
please
Yep.
do. Please do. I'd
Um,
love to hear it.
You've got the floor.
oh God. So I feel like, I mean, there's a lot of people who are really, really, really talented actors. And they have this idea for a character, and it's like they're the star of this Western film, and they have this idea of what their character is going to be like, and it's amazing, amazing acting. But sometimes I think that when you've built a character up like that, people can kind of forget that there's other people in the world that also have a character that they're trying to, um, develop in the same way. And I think if that starts to kind of take over other people's stories without kind of thinking about that character, that's where things start to kind of, um, yeah, like main character syndrome, I suppose.
Yep.
Um, but like, I just don't think anyone should put their character's goals, motivations, ego, whatever, ahead of somebody else's. You kind of lose the magic. It's a great, cinematic story thingy, but it's like everybody is there for, um, like to work together.
Yeah, like who is that really benefiting other than that one person? That is the really nice thing about a role play environment and especially this server. Um we are spoiled here, truth be told. The vast majority of people, I'm going to say like 99% upwards, are there to support other people's stories. Like, you might have something going on in your character's life that you have motivation to do, but you're going to rope other people in. Otherwise, you're just a mountain man not talking to anybody but a tree. And what kind of role play is that? You want to do that, just go play RDO. Like, that's
Yep.
there's there's place for that, but the vast majority of it, you're going to be interacting with other people. You're going to be asking them in a very hat in hand sort of way to join the story that they're trying to tell. But at the same time, the real magic of that is just supporting other people's stories 100% of the time, or at least the majority of the time. Like, of course, you want things to happen for your character, but you set expectations and then you're going to be severely disappointed. So, just leaning into whatever is currently happening, supporting other people, leaning into the improv nature of what is happening versus setting expectations for what you want to have happen. Um, that will deflate the ego almost entirely. Uh, because then at that point, it's impossible to have an ego when you're just there to support other people. People will then turn around and, scratch your back if you scratch theirs.
Yep.
I
And I
agree so
mean,
Yeah.
much.
I think a lot of no selling of other characters happens because of ego as well. That's
Mm.
another point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, you know, there's no worse feeling of feeling like, you gave everything, you're all in a scene and you really tried to be your best to provide a good scene. And I you know, no one's perfect, right? Everyone has had their moments, and everyone when they have their moments, they use it to either grow or they don't realize, you know, like I'm not perfect. I've had my moments. Everyone's had their moments, but like, I really think it's like it's take accountability, understand how to make a scene better.
Mhm.
Don't crap on the opposition. Talk big about your enemies. Make them seem scary. It's better for the story. Don't just shit on them. Don't meme on them. Um,
What people
don't be a
real
shit up.
quick, what people forget is like when you talk up your character, if you guys do come out on top in that interaction, it just makes yourself even look like a more in-depth character because not only
Yeah,
did you give them the respect of, treating their character like who their character should be portrayed as,
Mhm.
but you're also like you beat that monster. And now like look at what that does for your character and your own development. Like it goes hand in hand. Sorry,
Right,
I just had to
exactly.
interrupt.
You can big your character up. You can have the biggest ego around, but take the as long as your character's got it, because uh, but take fall down, get knocked down,
yeah.
and
Allow
get
yourself to get
right
knocked
back up
down.
again. Yeah, because then you're gonna
Blood,
look.
please.
Yeah, your character's gonna have such a good end story if you take those flaws. If you get knocked down, and when you eventually come out on top, you'll look back and think, "Oh God, I went through all of that, but my God, it feels good to be here now." And then get knocked
Right.
back down again. Start a
And
new
I mean,
story.
anyone can easily assemble 6 people they know can shoot and go and dominate everything and try and dominate everything, right? But at the end of the day, you're not really telling a story. You're playing Call of Duty. Like, go play Call of Duty if you want to do that. If that's your priority, right?
Mhm.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Fear comes from role play, not PvP.
Yeah.
Yeah. PvP should not be used as a measuring tool of how much you fear a character. And I so much agree with that, Scarlett. Like, that's preaching it.
That's a good point.
I wish I saw it less.
Like, I always say this, but I want to see a group and I want to be like, oh my God, Zoe is terrified of this group. Um, how do I stay here for the scene with them? Like I want the scene
Mhm.
out of character, but in character is always like, I need to get away from here. These people are terrifying. That's proper, enjoyable fear RP. Not, oh, I don't want to get executed. I better get out of here. And it becomes like an out of character fear.
Well
Yeah.
said. To the point in the question of how can the community support more humility in character development, um, I would very much like to build on what Ledge was saying with uh, providing that credibility to other people, not talking them down, and that is every single step of the way. From the criminal side, like, oh yeah, that senior deputy, they're terrifying. I know they got it in for me. They've got my name written in red. My days are numbered. This is awful. From the law side of things, from every single interaction that you have with that criminal to not talk badly about them, whether directly to their face in a conflict just before maybe a gunfight breaks out or something, or it leads to a pursuit. Even when they're in the cells, don't do that. Like, don't don't speak poorly of someone while they're in your custody, because then that's like a weird power play as well. It's much more beneficial to get to know that character and to lean into the fear of what comes next for them. Like, "Oh, shit, you're wanted for 4,500 days. You're going to Sisika for a very long time. I can empathize with that. I understand how awful this is going to be for you." Um, you don't have to be their best friend by any means. Like, that's not the point of the law. Is you're not meant to be their friends. You're meant to be the person that helps as like a jumping board for their story. So if that means um you know, talking them up to other people that are trying to get into the transport of them over to Sisika, or just kind of having a conversation with them and, you know, trying to sway them to the side of good. Whatever it is that you want to do, just don't talk poorly to or about them in their presence at all. Just at all. That's my one ask.
Did you touch base on this as much as you wanted to? Oh, never mind. I just saw that he said stepping away for a second.
Yeah, leave it at the door, and if other people see that you're leaving it at the door, they will too, and hopefully that like facilitates more humility in the community. I'd say.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yep.
That's all we can ask for.
Yep.
All right, final question. Oh no, there's two. Okay, I'll do 15 ledge if you want to do 16.
Sure.
What would you like to see improve or evolve when it comes to FRP? I think, to be honest with
We're
you,
pretty
everything
much.
we answered is.
Yep.
I think that touches base on that. So, do you just want to go to 16? Unless someone has
Yeah, sure. I mean, if anyone's got a defining last point on like all that, feel free to go ahead. Like, if they want to round everything off.
My point on that is just support the people that you're role playing with so that they feel comfortable for your RPing.
Yep.
You know, if
I
you're a
wholeheartedly
criminal,
agree.
Oh, sorry, Ashton, what was that?
No, I was just agreeing. Go ahead.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, like if you're a criminal, let the people in your gang be scared. Let them be, hurt, want to hide, want to avoid people. Like just don't treat people too harshly for expressing fear realistically. And then the same thing on the law side, if a deputy is scared in a gunfight, like I've taken like new cadets or something on their first gunfight, and they're like, oh my god, I'm so stressed out, like they're messing up loading their gun, they don't know what to do, they're asking for help. And I'm like, hell yeah, I love this person, like this is great. I
Yeah.
love that a cadet is coming in and they're being scared in a gunfight. It's a freaking gunfight, they should be scared, we should all be scared. um and then sometimes people will be like, "Okay, let me take you under my wing. You did great. Let me support you. How'd you feel about that?" And there's so much opportunity for role play. But then other times people will be like, "God, why they even, they're can't even participate in a gunfight. Like how are they going to be a deputy?" And like that part is the part that I really wish people would just be more supportive about fear RP. Um, like don't the same with whoever it is. Like Zoe speaks to people and has these like we've got our little kidnappees anonymous where we speak about how it feels when people are constantly like, oh, you're kidnapped again, haha. Like um yeah, just I don't know, give people that leeway. And then another thing is um, if people are expressing emotion, like deputies are expressing emotion in a scene, as long as they're not doing something unprofessional, I really wish people would be a little bit more lenient with that, like more supportive of that, instead of going, "Oh, they're too emotional for this. They need to like get out of the scene." It's like we're in the scene
Sure.
because we've got this role play. Let it happen.
Honestly, the most interesting scenes to me have been when deputies and lawmen have showed emotion, like allowed themselves to let the cracks kind of slip.
Yeah.
Did I word that properly? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
emotion, like they get rattled. They're human beings. They're not just they're not just faceless avatars. Like they got things that get them angry too. And like when that starts to slip out, and it really feels rewarding as an outlaw when you kind of bring that out of a lawman. Like you hit them where it hurts, and they give you this reaction that's like, oh god, like that's so I did not expect that, or you really feel like you're having an effect on someone else's story, and then and then you give them the same. Like you give what you get. They give you a big reaction to maybe a decision your outlaws decide to make, and then when they get you give it right back. Like give them the emotional role play in the cells or whatever you want to do. Like yeah, allowing yourself to be vulnerable and react to things really just takes it to another level. So I back that entirely.
Yeah, same here. I mean, my tip would be the exact same as Scar. I mean, uh, when people are scared in those gunfights, it just again it makes it so much more immersive, and also on an out of character point, just kind of paces the fight a little bit better, slows it down. You can stop, hey, let's calm down, breathe, breathe, breathe. We've got this. We've got this. You build a bond when someone shows a bit of fear RP in a gunfight. Um, yeah, and like you say, you do take them under your wing. There's Lloyd Dalton. I think he plays Mickey in the Parvey. Really, really great at it. And other than that, like again, like how we've said, use your slash me's if you're a criminal to show things. Same with law. Use your emotes, your facial expressions, loads of different ways, and tell the stories. If something's happened to you, in case unless you're a lawman and you can't, and it's an open investigation, but yeah, that person did this to me. Really, really hype these people up, what they've done. Emphasize what that is built onto your character and why you feel the way you do. Yeah. Tell each of the stories to other people, get other people involved. Make them scared of this person, even though they've never even seen them.
Right, it adds to the legend.
Absolutely.
Oh, the rug store. Is that what was
Spooky
brought
in
up?
there. Yeah.
I remember when Zip sent Dazza into. There was another favorite scene of mine is like when Zip had left Van Horn and like Dazza and a few other Westerners and came to his support, and he's like, "My wife is in there. Like, my wife is in there. Dazza, I need you to get her." And like, when Dazza found Andy, she was getting taken to the rug store. Pete was about to take her to the rug store, and Dazza got her out. And that's kind of the mystique of the rug store. Like, when everyone goes down there, they don't really come out the same. That was the mystique around it. The infiltration to Van Horn and getting out Zip's wife was cool, really cool to do.
Zoe's still scared to even ride past Van Horn.
Mm.
I only learned about like a couple things that occurred within that goddamn rug store, but every time I've needed to go into Van Horn or even just like on the outskirts of it, it just feels like this dark shadow that's just right there. And you know that there's all kinds of horror that lies beyond that door and down underground. But it's just like this spooky dark stain on this already desolate town. It's so cool though. It's so cool.
It is, yeah. Never really got too much in the. I never really had too much of the Van Horn Eastern role play, but I did get bits and pieces here and there. Mainly when Zip moved over, Dazza was there for a bit, but not really. He never really joined Van Horn.
But that's the fear RP that makes it special. Zoe's been into
Yeah.
Van Horn, I don't know, less than 10 times in like years. And if people started not fearing it, then it would lose that magic.
I'll never
Mm.
forget the Wallaby Zip just barrage of just insults to Zoe down there.
Oh god.
Yep.
Zoe
And
slept with
you.
more dudes than Zip has killed horses. Just it was like a solid 2 minutes
Your
of just nonstop.
your body count is higher than mine. Cheers.
Oh my, I remember.
All right, last thing, and then we'll watch a couple clips and wrap it up.
Cool.
Yep.
Legends, do you want to read it?
If you could give one piece of advice to a new RDR2 role player struggling with fear RP, what would it be?
Mine is leave the ego at the door.
I give the same answer. Just leave your goddamn ego at the door. You're here to collaborate, tell a story.
Yep.
If you want to go play Call of Duty, go do that. But if you want to role play, just leave your ego at the door. That's it.
Gotta trust people too. You gotta trust that the role play that they're trying to rope you in on is gonna be fun. That they're gonna do their best to ensure that you're gonna have a good time with it, even if they're taking your character out into the woods to torture them. Like they've got you in mind. You, hopefully you're not just gonna be a pawn, but at the same time, um, just trust what they're bringing you in on, that they're doing it for a reason. Even if you were just a person riding on the road, you happen to be the person that was riding on the road that was perfect for them to nab. The perfect person to bring into the bank as a hostage. The perfect person to have stand at the top of the hill in Ansburg for an hour and a half and barter for your life. You gotta, uh, you gotta trust that they're leaning into it because they have a good story in mind. Um, and that they have invited you along. So, like, hop in and just have fun with it.
That's such a good thing. I'll be honest, like no one's perfect, and it's really easy to kind of think uh like the negative thing out of a scene. But it is true, most people are trying their best. It might not be to your taste, and it might not be exactly how you expected it or wanted it, or the best reason for it or whatever. But um I guess that's a good reminder for me to just give it your best and just hope for the best.
Mhm.
Oh, and fear is not weakness. That's the last thing I'll say.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Less. Thank you. That's so important. It just showcases that there's a slight bit of it's not even a flaw. Like fear is not a flaw. That is human nature. If you weren't afraid
Yep,
of anything, then we as humanity would be dead. Completely, this earth would
yep.
be empty. Um,
And
no, go
and
ahead, please.
that being said, right, weakness isn't bad either. Like
Yeah.
having your character show weakness or having a weak moment, it's freaking sometimes like it's when Daz is like over Zip's body crying his guts out, like that's like his when you allow your characters to be weak, vulnerable, show emotion, that's when some of the best character work can come out for anyone. And it's such a missed opportunity in a lot of cases. And um, yeah, fear is a strength. Showing good fear role play is a strength to the character trait,
Hmm.
and it's a good way to view it.
Agreed on that.
Yeah. All I'm gonna say is just be everyone's hype man and go along with the
Yep,
stories and
Yeah.
see where it
there you go.
goes.
I'm so glad we all agree on that. I had
Yep.
no doubts, but it's reassuring.
Right?
Anyone else have any final statements on that? Like when it fear role play, all that stuff, everything we covered.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I'm
Final,
Yeah.
we've got everything pretty much all laid out. It's very important, so
nice.
please do it.
So does anyone
I
have
believe.
any clips that they want to show? If you are gonna show it, just stream it in Discord so we can watch it with you,
Hmm.
not delayed on the stream.
I don't actually have any clips on hand. I was trying to look.
I have clips, but I have no idea how to stream it.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
wondering how.
you just stream it on Discord with us, or you're talking about
I'm
in general on stream.
Yeah, yeah, like putting my Discord on stream. I'm gonna mess it up. It's gonna go horribly wrong. I can send you clips though.
If you send me, yeah, if
Yeah.
you send me links, I could do it.
I mean, I did have one scene in mind that really showed like how much I really enjoyed like the fear role play, but it's so fresh that like I don't know if it's technically like I don't know maybe it's too fresh to show, but yeah, I don't want to spoil stuff, so someone else go.
Fox just sent me the ones that I just sent you, but I don't want to. I don't want to watch them. I'm scared. I hate
Oh my
watching
god,
my RP
perfect.
back. It's so cringe.
Alright, here, let me do this.
Whenever I fear RP, My cats get upset. My husband
Oh.
gets upset. He's always like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
I'm just playing
Oh,
pretend. I'm playing with cowboy paper dolls. Don't worry about it.
you know, I know a good fear roleplay Zoe moment. That's very
Oh
real.
no.
Oh, I want to go find that
Oh,
now.
please find that. Please.
Okay, so I'm
Okay, I'm
streaming in Discord,
Oh,
so you
shit.
guys can watch through the Discord, so we can don't have to watch on a stream or
Mhm.
self-talk.
someone. Can I? Do I have to link my stream to the Discord? Is that how we're doing this so people can
What?
see?
I
Or
think
I
people
think
just
he's
go
just
into
No,
buds.
no, no.
streaming his
Buds.
yeah. Just go to
Yeah.
buds.
okay, yeah, go to Bud, go to Bud, go to Bud. Yep.
This is my plan all along. All right, let me
Oh,
know when
God.
you're already in Discord.
Yep.
Okay,
Let me line this up.
go there.
All right, press and play.
Something.
Zoe,
There has to be a
do
way.
not
So
make
cringe.
me tell you again.
Just do it. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh no.
Don't beat yourself up, man. It's the way it needs to be. I forgive you.
I love you, Huxley. I'm sorry.
I love you too.
I'm sorry.
Goodbye, Finnegan Huxley.
Bassin guards. Let him go.
It's over.
Jesus Christ, man.
Zoe the monster.
That was so
Oh my
annoying.
Zozo's
God.
evil.
See
You're not
that
the only one that pushed someone
make
off a cliff, Azza.
make people hurt. Make people hurt the ones they love. You don't have to hurt the person responsible. Hurt the people. Make them hurt the people they love. That's a freaking great outlaw tip.
Oh god,
If
this
you want to be
one.
really brutal.
Hey, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Ugh. He might shoot
Just one
Zoe.
person's close enough. Now step back.
We've.
Jordan.
Nadia, please just. Nadia,
Please, please,
don't
don't.
do this, please.
Zoe,
Nadia.
Lynn!
stand at the end.
Please, don't do this. There's no reason.
Stand at the
to
end.
do this.
Lynn, please. Lynn, ow!
There isn't. There is no reason.
Please don't.
Please,
I'm begging you, please don't do this.
Nadia.
Just like to say, Jordan is killing the
come
Fear
on,
RP in this as
please,
well.
Just do.
Amazing.
Think about everybody here, please. Please.
You know, I've always wondered if this would work.
Oh my
Holy
god.
shit.
Oh my
God.
god!
That's brutal. Oh my god.
Zoe.
The positioning of that is
It's
crazy.
insane. Holy shit.
That was one of the best scenes for Fear RP. Okay, obviously Zoe's scared, but Jordan's like we're, they're gonna come after us if we do this. It's gonna be bad for everybody. Like, please don't do it. And then, kind of everybody in the gang had a different opinion on it, and it was amazing.
Yeah, that was intense.
I'm
What
fighting to
gang
find
was
that
that?
clip.
Fox gang.
Oh, okay. Yeah, find a clip.
Bloody box gang.
I'll throw this
Oh.
on. Why you guys find
Where
clips?
is that clip?
I'm gonna have to
Where's
skip
that
through
clip of-
this because it's an hour. But we're not gonna watch the whole thing. We're just gonna watch a couple minutes out of it. I just gotta get the audio.
another day, Lord.
Alright, there you guys go for Discord.
I see a few of them walking around.
Good. We expected that.
I say we hit you.
We're killing them and we're
It's not smart enough to move.
I think this is. I should have timestamped this spot.
Get over here, Pip.
Gonna get caught separated.
Killing one.
No cover. No, Molly's right there. Just
It's not
Six.
until like the law comes
gonna-
up that you could really hear the fear RP in everybody's voice.
We were up on that hill for over an hour.
Yeah, we were riding back and down. Everyone in KG had went down there at least once to convince the law
we'll
to
have
meet
better
us
cover if
halfway.
we
It was
move
a
up.
bunch of
Start
negotiations.
walking.
walking.
Go.
Start walking and don't fucking.
Pip was the one that was like really leading that and really trying to make sure that us as hostages were still going to be alive. Jack was just like, "Hey, do you want a gun or do you want a knife to the head? Take your
Yeah,
pick."
they sent Zip up, which is the last person that should have, because all those deputies hated Zip. So as soon as Zip rode up, they were just like,
If,
"Shut the fuck up, Zip." And I'm like, "I tried."
If you could find Ranger Cole Cade. He's a ranger. His name is Cole.
I don't feel right about leaving you two. I just don't feel right about
You
it.
don't have a
Stay,
choice.
motherfucker.
You don't have a
Then
choice.
stay.
No.
Then stay
you
and
don't
plead
have
for
a
their
choice.
lives.
No.
Yeah.
Go tell Cole.
You can
Tell
do
the
that.
law. Go tell him, please. He'll be in Strawberry most of the time, if not in
We need
White
not
Hall.
move up further.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's far
we
enough.
have cover here.
It's far enough.
I'm sorry.
Walk up next to her.
Okay.
I don't understand what in your favor that would do for you. Besides,
It doesn't matter about our favor, it's about spiting you and your pride.
I know it's hard to hear, guys. I'm
Pip.
sorry.
Pip, enough.
Oh,
Kramer, can you hear
that'll
me?
do it.
Eleanor King crushed this scene too.
No, motherfucker.
Yeah,
you go.
everyone in this scene, like the three of you were made this so much more real.
Y'all are gonna let 3 hostages get shot over this bullshit. Just fucking let them leave. Please.
Zip, let me do it, please. I'll do it with pleasure.
Hostage, come forward,
Go on.
civilian. What's your name again?
Angel Ortega.
All right.
He goes, Kramer
Ortega,
comes
you're a
forward.
lucky man.
He
You're free
goes,
to go.
Kramer comes forward.
I hope you make it to Guarma, Jack.
No, you just leave.
I hope you are free of this hellish place.
You don't need to tell them that, motherfucker. Just leave. You're free to go.
Other way. Go back towards man in blue shirt.
I don't even want to go to Guarma anymore.
For
This
God's
ain't about
sake,
that. This
Jack.
it
For
ain't even
God's
about.
sake, Jack.
It ain't
I'm
even
gonna
about.
knock
He
you
won't
out.
even.
I'm gonna knock you out and fucking take you to Guarma myself. You need to literally take a step back right now and think about what the fuck you're doing.
I
Because
see
you're
what's
pissing
happening.
me off.
I see
We
what's
made a
happening.
decision. We made a
Poor
decision.
Pip
They're
was
gonna
really
let us
trying
go
to
or
lead
not?
this, and Jack's like,
We
"Nah, I
gotta
don't
find
care."
that out. You need to come forward and talk.
Yeah, everyone was fighting on our side, and the law had no
Mhm.
idea about it.
So you can move up.
I'm
Yeah.
not going.
It was great.
Neither will I.
That's the good thing about having a gang where like not everyone's like thinks the same thing. They all got different
Yeah.
opinions, and you can get really good role play out of it.
Yeah, there's
Let 'em on the
it's
fucking
hard to
boat,
get like a
damn it.
point that you all agree on.
Just let them leave.
I can watch this for fucking ever, but I remember there was like a point where
Both of us have risked
I
our
remember
lives
saying to
across
stream
for
like,
you,
"Holy shit!" I think it's this.
and you're gonna let
Yeah.
them put a bullet in our. Both
Eleanor
of
was
us have
great.
risked our lives for the crossing for you.
This is when she
and
was
you're
still a
gonna let them
deputy.
Put a bullet in our hands.
When Eleanor
Just let
was.
them on the fucking boat, damn it.
Mm-hmm. This is where she
At this
quit the
point, I'll fucking
department.
pay for their tickets.
Yep.
A lot of emotion in her voice here.
If you don't let them on the boat, we're gonna die, and our lives will be on your hands. And I swear I will fucking haunt every single one of you. Too
Leo
many
Dot, by the
people
way.
have
We love them.
died because of shit like this. Too many fucking people, Willer. Too many fucking people.
Oh, she called Kramer Weller.
That's Kramer.
That's so bad.
Come here and talk to me.
There ain't no talking. Let him on the fucking boat. There ain't no talking. There is the boat or there is blood.
But we need to talk about how exactly he's gonna be getting on the boat.
Okay, every single one of them are gonna walk on those docks. They're gonna get on the fucking boat and you're gonna let them.
If we're doing that, they're gonna let both of you walk over to us, and then we will.
No.
Yes, you have my word.
They will be
Zip and I
standing
stay
on
back,
the
hold the
docks with us
hostages
until
once you
the
guys are
moment we
gone.
leave. Then they will be free.
Boat leaves in 4 minutes, Kramer.
So I suggest we hurry this up then.
All right. Are you giving us permission to walk over to the docks? And get
I
on
am
that
not.
boat? All right. Well.
I love tense negotiations like this.
If you would like that permission,
This is
to
like
walk
right
over
when
on
Guarma
that
became a
boat,
thing.
Those 2 hostages are gonna walk over to me, and then you will be free to do that. You have my word.
One, Kramer,
Your
you can have
word,
the
I
dog, but
want.
We're keeping your law dog.
No.
No.
I want the
No, you
word of
won't.
everyone
I
over
want
there,
to see up
Kramer.
until the last second
Dude, Alice was
who's
so
lying
terrifying in
actually
this
do care
entire
about-
scene.
'cause I don't think you care
Mills was kind of quiet, but
about
like
your
whenever he
goddamn
chimed in, it
comrade.
was like
Look at
it
my
had a lot of weight to it.
They're standing with me, ready to do anything, ready to kill, ready to die.
And that's Boyd, I believe.
Yeah.
What did he say?
What was that?
Pip,
Kill one of them.
Pip, come
Why
here.
not?
Not
Kill
her,
one
please.
of
Not
them.
her, please. Not her. Please,
Kill
not
one of
her.
them, this all-
Please, not Duffy. Please,
If you kill one of them, this
Please.
all goes to shit.
Please,
He's right.
don't
So
shoot
let's
her.
think about
Please,
your
do
actions
not
right now.
shoot her. Shut
I'm
up.
trying to help you get onto that boat. Let's remember that.
You ain't helping shit.
I am helping
They get on, I stay
you
back
to
with
get
the
on that boat.
hostage.
Our blood is gonna be shed, and it's gonna be your fault. It's gonna
Your
be
blood
on
is
your
not going to be
conscience.
shed. Just relax. You're going home.
Ain't no home anymore.
Pip.
Those 4 get
Shut
on,
up,
Kramer.
I say we
Fuck
do.
their
Ain't no
negotiations.
home.
We're taking
No,
them to the
they're-
boat.
okay,
Fuck
they're-
what
they're
they're
not
saying.
coming
so
onto
don't
the
listen
boat.
to Kramer. We're
They're
taking
not
them to
coming
the
on the
No,
boat.
boat.
let those 4
They
get
can
to the
either
boat.
Staying
go
at the
or we're
front
gonna
of that
shoot
dock.
them.
Aurora and I will
Shut
stay
up.
with the hostages.
Aurora and Zip and I will stay. You 4 get on the boat. I will hand myself in after.
Same.
Don't push
All
it.
right.
I don't give a shit about anybody handing themselves in. I give a shit about those 2 hostages. Let's make that very
Well, then
clear
let
right
them on
now.
the fucking boat.
I am very willing
Obviously
to. Those 2
fucking
hostages
dumb.
are gonna wait right there at the top
Hold
of the
on.
dock.
The
Everybody else
boat,
is getting on
the
fucking
boat is
boat.
leaving in
Everyone's
one.
gonna sail off and everyone's gonna be
The
happy.
boat
That's
is
how it's
leaving in
working.
one. The boat is leaving in
Then I
1 minute.
suggest we very
Okay.
much hurry
An
this up,
inch.
or else there's gonna be a very long
We're
wait
gonna
till
have
the
to
next
wait for
one.
the next one.
We are not going to, because those hostages are gonna be fine. You can get on that boat and leave right now.
You 4
This
go.
is-
Aurora
that
and
is
I
my
will
guy.
stay with the
That's my
hostage.
word.
Go. Now.
Go.
Walk.
Alice, I got
So we're
this.
just
Go.
hostages.
Go.
No,
Go.
they're not. They're walking
They-
with us.
do you
until
wanna
I
get on
give-
that boat
until
or
I give
not?
the command.
Pip, go.
Until I give the
Do you
command.
want to get on that boat or not?
You're not gonna do anything.
He gave it
Just
to
go.
Go.
You just go.
Just go.
Where's Sheriff Breyer over there? They had a conversation,
The
her,
pre-move.
Eleanor,
The
and Dovey
pre-move.
afterwards, and Breyer was like, "We were gonna kill you. We were gonna gun you down to get them. Hope you know that." And then just like fucking walked off.
That is
Oh my
crazy.
god.
It was awful. The SESD wrote a formal apology to the
Stay
Department
back,
of Health,
Kramer.
and
Stay
specifically
back.
to Dovey,
No.
because
Stay
they're like,
back.
"Yeah,
Not
sorry,
until that boat leaves with them on it.
we don't believe that. That's my bad."
And I hope this
It's
has to be
crazy.
clear. And I
Or
hope
when have I
that
ever broken
every
my word?
lemon on that island is sweet. And I hope it's worth it.
Or name one
Here's the
time I've ever
hostages.
broken my word.
Aurora, give us
Yeah.
the hostages.
Once they're gone.
They're
Your
gone.
friends who are allowed to leave, give us the fucking hostages.
Are they on that boat?
They're gone. You two should
They're not on
run.
that boat yet.
Leave. Go out of town.
Aiming your guns at those hostages and get out of here.
We're not going until they are on that boat and that boat is gone.
More of the despicable beings.
Yeah, you are, Zip.
You guys still didn't come up after we said we were executing one. You're lucky Pip fucking stopped.
You weren't a fucking pawn. You're a fucking disgrace of a human being.
Yeah, so are y'all.
Are they gone?
Yeah, right.
I really thought that you were worth a damn for a while, Zip. I really did.
Yeah.
They're
Sorry to
gone,
break your heart.
Aurora. Give us the fucking hostages.
Back
Get
away
the
from
fuck out of town.
God, I miss Zip.
No, we're arresting them. Put your fucking hands
Don't call
up.
your fucking horse.
Oh.
Oh.
You get on that horse, I will fucking shoot you down. You understand?
You're all right. It's over now. It's over now.
Yeah.
Fucking scumbag.
See, like they got something out of that. That
This
and
is
you
what
guys
you
got
wanna do with
something
your
out of
life.
that.
Yeah,
Come on.
it was fucking
It was
crazy.
worth it.
This is like the first scene in Wild that I was like, holy shit, like panicking the entire time out of character. Like, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, that was good.
But any other clips? Because I don't see.
I got you one.
Okay. Oh, it's in live chat. All right.
The last grain of sand. Oh no.
Mm-hmm. You want to watch Audrey die? Here you go.
Oh god.
Perfect.
This is my only brag in RP that I will ever profess to claim. This is the best scene I've ever been a part of and luckiest to have been a part of because of the fucking cascading domino effect that came from this. The lead up to this was the Pruitt gang got into a conflict a couple days beforehand with the law, and they shot down several of them, including Eve O'Connor, played by Leah, who permit. So Eve died, and the Pruitt gang were not having it. They were so upset. Like several of them were gravely injured. Mitch Sand leading the charge. He was pretty badly hurt as well, and they ended up taking him outside and nearly killing him again. Like they shot him down. He had surgery and everything, and then Sully's character took him and beat him across the head. And I remember talking with Migley. He said if he had gotten shot at that point, he would have permitted because it was a very cool scene. So he got put into a coma at that point because of the amount of injury that he took. And the Pruitt gang decided to formulate a plan to get back at the law, and most especially Mitch. They had these three. This is Sully, Avia, and Johnny Blams on their characters, Luke Barrett, and then, oh god, I can never remember their names. I'd have to look it up. But they're members of the Pruitt gang. Their whole thing was that they were just going to go find someone from the law that they could torture and kill. And Sully's character pretended to be a ranger and said that his wagon had been shot up by somebody. He needed it to be inspected. And Audrey was the one that opened the door. Senior Deputy Redding was also there at the office that day and saw that she was like being taken against her will. So he went to try and confront them, and they took him along as well. So this is the resulting scene of that.
Okay. Thank you for the background.
Got you.
That's really cool.
Got a little something for you.
I gotta get the goods, lads. I'm getting really giddy. Hold on.
What is this?
What does it look like?
I don't know. It's dark as hell. I can't see shit.
Maybe step a little closer.
I'd never been here before, and I couldn't see the bottom, so I thought it was just like an endless pit.
Oh.
I had no idea what it
Getting
was.
picture.
Sure am.
Ooh, fuck, this is fucking heavy. Japers. Whatever could be inside.
What do you think's inside, Audrey?
Oh, jeez. Fuck.
I don't know.
Oh my. Oh.
Fucking chains or something.
Chains, no, we ain't no feared hourglass that you over there quaking about. No. You know what they don't tell you when you choose a life of crime?
What's it?
That all the fucking gold in the world can't bring back those you love.
Do not know it.
Yeah. Guess we do too now. I was telling your friend here. Funny. Funny how when it's all over you find out what you actually want and you can't have it. Oh, you said Brandon was saying you read up on our reports. You read up on ours?
A bit. I've met y'all before. It's just been a while.
I remember you.
What do you know?
I didn't realize I was a memorable sort of person. And here I stand corrected. So what is it? What is it you're hoping to accomplish here today?
Oh, you a message, by all means. What's to come?
Right.
So you said you read, we got a mentor by the name of Bronco Pruitt, right?
I've read as such, yeah.
When I was a real little boy, Bronco took me in. One day I was crying by a fire. Oh, here he told me.
What's that?
Told me, quit your sniveling, boy. World don't care about you, and I'm gonna let you on a little secret, Miss Audrey. Don't care about you none neither. He wrote me a cute little poem, said something like, the world doesn't care how many tears you shed, don't care if you're well fed or hungry or wound up dead. Realized that a long time ago. And truth be told, I don't care if I wind up dead neither, but I'm gonna take as many of you with me as I fucking can. So you can relish and commemorate your dreaded hourglass cutter, but we have something very, very special for you. Bronco
That was
said
me
many
crying
things.
out
He
of
also used to
character because
say,
I understood what was happening at that point.
can't bring it all with you when you're dead. Ain't that right, boys? We can't take this
That's
shit with us.
fucking right.
So
But you
might
know
as
what,
well
Audrey?
get rid of you.
You know what, Audrey?
What?
At least we're gonna give you something to bring to the fucking pearly gates. To buy your ticket to heaven, because Lord knows that the way to heaven is paved with gold.
They
we're a
saved
generous
every
folk.
single gold bar from the banks that they robbed
Very,
to torture
very
people with.
generous.
This was when they had taken Bolton and beat the shit out of her with
ever
a
read the
bar of
Bible?
gold. And they took the rest of it to stone her to death.
Blood gold right there, God.
That's when they always read it, when we're nice and young.
That's how
nice
she
and
died?
Malleable.
Yes.
You know?
Stoned to death with gold bars.
Do they stone her here?
Look
Yes.
at that.
Holy mother.
Tut over here.
It was kind of difficult to roleplay because they,
shit.
you'd take a gold bar and you drop it and you just do the
Speaking
little
of the
dropping
Bible,
animation.
got a
But they
short one
took
for
turns
you.
beating the
See
shit
if you
out of her
remember
too.
it. Romans 4:15.
Stoned with gold bars from stolen banks. My God.
hmm
That's creative. I like it.
It was very
Gonna
cool.
mess
For
that
the
up.
law brings
Oh,
about
yeah.
wrath. Where there is no law, there's no violation.
Essie. Okay.
Calm, Audrey. Be calm.
You stop fucking struggling for that, alright? What are you gonna do in this situation, huh? Even if you
Got
got those
another
cuffs
question.
off, I'd blow your fucking brains out quicker than you could do anything,
Hey,
alright?
actually, maybe take his cuffs off. Let's make it interesting. See what he does, D.
You want to make it interesting?
Nah. I know. I need Ren to take her back to town, whatever state she's in, anyway.
That's right. We can't kill him too.
Yeah.
No, we got a better question.
What's that?
You ever thought you'd die alone, Audrey?
No.
How about you, Redden?
I'm not gonna die alone.
Okay, so you want us to kill both of you together? Find your fucking bodies later?
Don't hurt him, please. You're
Nah, we ain't
You
got
know what? I wouldn't mind
love
taking
him.
another one with us, to be honest. I don't
No,
give a fuck
please.
anymore.
Leave him alone.
How about we kill him first and make her watch?
No,
She seems
please.
to get really upset about the thought of him getting hurt.
No, we need him to take her back to her brother.
Do we though?
Yeah, you
we?
seeing
Because
red again, partner. You gotta fucking remember why we're
I
here.
am fucking seeing red again. Of
Yeah,
course I am.
leave
Eve's fucking
him
dead.
the fucking alone. We'll kill the rest of them later.
Eve's dead.
I know fucking Eve's dead. We've been over this time and time again. It's all I can fucking see when I close my goddamn eyes, D. We need him to take her back so they get the message.
I watched her die right in front of me, man. Let me
get it.
fucking kill him. Let me
No,
kill
no,
him.
no,
Let me
but-
kill him right in front of her. I'll make it brutal, but I'll make it quick.
Alright, if you see a red motherfucker, then take these scouts off, put your hands up, and let's do this.
Oh my god.
I love Redding so
Two of your fellas
much.
here with guns in case
I
you
love
lose,
him.
Or you too chicken shit to do this.
Chicken shit. Chicken shit. I'll show you fucking chicken shit. I don't fight fair.
Stop it, please. What is wrong with you? That's how they killed Redding.
Jesus.
Yep.
One of their own. Wait, was that one of their own?
No, he's a senior deputy.
Sorry to see that.
I missed Redding.
It
I do
gets a little
too.
Temperamental at times.
Redding, oh my
The
god.
icing on the cake was that both of these characters, Audrey and Redding, had both
Now look what you
recently
did.
gotten married. He married
both
Maisie Love, and she married Reuben Wiley.
Dude,
Both
Terry-
within like the
Terry
last
loved-
week.
Terry got on with Redding like a house on fire, man. He was
Hmm.
so upset when he died.
Oh my god, that rush.
That's when he died?
Yes.
Now, guess you won't be dying alone.
Great.
Is he still living? Is he still alive? Hold on. I want him to be in a good position to see.
I think he just ragdolled at this point because they pick him up and move him.
This will be the last thing you see before you die.
God damn it.
Can someone get a hold of this fella? Heavy. I got him. Up he goes. Come on. Drag you right over here, you heavy bastard. Come on. Alright.
So you said you read the Bible, yeah? We've been over that.
Yeah, we've been over that.
Yeah.
You go on the fucking ground. Sit back and watch.
Miss Aubrey, I'm gonna ask you to step over to this nice little hold here.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Right here. Take a good long look at it.
Uh-huh.
And take it in.
I really thought this out.
To each,
Mhm,
fellas.
they absolutely did.
Yeah, 2 each is fine.
Oh no.
Hard to watch.
It was hard to play through.
Hold on. We should get
Nah,
a
that is
fucking little,
brutal.
a little time in the pit together. What do you think? Here we go.
One at a time, shall we?
Yeah, one at a time. One at a time.
Put PvP back on.
You did this to Bolton too. You
Yep,
did this. Oh god.
we did.
No.
But we got something extra in
No,
mind for
not
you
this.
after.
Not this.
First things first, though. This is for fucking.
Oh. You alone.
Hit her hard
At
with
least,
that
at
ball.
least you got some hits
Here you
in
go.
before she
Another
died.
fucking hit with the bar.
Oh, absolutely.
Here
She
we
did
go.
not go down without a fight.
You got some fighting her, I'll give her that.
I think it's your turn. Let's have some fighting her.
Huh.
Stop. I don't want this. Stop. Oh, God, stop it. Fuck off.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
This is crazy.
This is like
You're
hard to watch.
frowning. Yeah,
How much
I wanted to
longer
go away
can
from
she do this now? How much more can she take? What do you think?
Have fun, Luke.
You seem mighty nice, Miss Aubrey. My sister was really nice too.
I'm really sorry about your sister.
You know what? I actually believe you too.
I met her once. She was really nice.
She was the best of us.
Fuck. What the fuck is wrong with you? God. Stop, please. Please.
Guess I could part with one.
Please stop. You don't have to do this.
Ain't about
Please.
have to. That ain't what this is about.
Oh, fuck.
Crushed beneath the weight of gold. Could you
Oh,
imagine?
God.
That is insane.
How about another one?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Please.
Sully's character jumps down and continues to kick the shit out of her, but
I reckon that's
that was
good
it.
boys, right?
That's fucking
The
Y'all out of
gnarly.
gold.
yeah,
She's still making noise.
That
though.
is
The-
that is
We're all out
brutal.
of gold, but she's still making noise.
the result of this was the rest of the Pruitt gang, so I think it was only the 5 of them left, held it down in Valentine, and there were like 20 deputies that responded, got into yeah, this was a perma. Got into a massive gunfight. 4 of them permit on the spot when they were shot down, and Sully's character got shot down, but he was still alive and
good
was
friends
put
with
up for
Bolton?
execution immediately.
Damn.
So, yeah, Redding died. Audrey died very shortly after.
Are
And
you?
then it led to a fucking crazy last stand in Valentine for the rest of the gang, where the rest of
You
them
want a
died
matching face?
all on the same day.
Jesus
Get the
Christ.
other side so that
Yeah, it was brutal. It was really cool. I'm sorry, I know that was hard to watch, but that was
That was really good. On
that
everyone's
was
part.
crazy. Yeah, they were
Yeah, I
fantastic.
love that.
Johnny Blams was the reason I found the server, him and Pumpkinberry. So to be able to be invited into a scene like that was like, how can I not, right?
Yeah.
How can I not do something with that?
Okay. All right. Well, I guess this is we can kind of wrap up from here. Does anyone have any closing statements that they want to make? Oh wait, no, never mind. Hold on, scratch that. Azza sent me something. Hold on,
Yeah,
hold
he's
on.
got
One more.
You're being a bit
Oh, this is just
hysterical,
one
all right? We
little,
don't know what
This one's just when we're starting to investigate the goons for Mary Glass's murder, and they approach me, and they're trying to strong arm. But this is a great example of one way that a group can do this without using their weapons. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we had 2 shootouts the whole time, the whole feud, and it's just a little snippet. There was a longer conversation, but the VOD's way gone now, sadly.
Yeah, you gotta upload those to YouTube.
the fuck's going on.
Oh, you know exactly what's going on, Wired.
Right now no, I don't. I want you to quit it with the fucking hysterics, all right?
Someone has
Some
died.
honesty, St. John.
Listen to me.
You want the honesty?
No, I'm offering you some honesty.
Oh, go ahead, Mr.
You keep
Landry.
barking up this tree, someone's gonna end up killing you. Probably not one of us. Who knows who done it, but you're looking for death, fella. That's an honest answer for you.
I'll keep barking up this tree because there's not gonna be no one else that's gonna do it. She told me.
Just careful you don't throw your head through that noose.
I still think of
It's
that
hanging
now.
from the tree.
So good.
You're being
That's
hysterical.
right.
That was Sunshine,
And he jump
right?
scared me.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. He
Holy
jump
shit.
scared me as well. I didn't realize he was behind.
God, that's cool.
Yeah, holy shit. There's so many good examples of the fear RP that people can actually latch into too, and to drive it that isn't just, you know, shooting someone and then talking to them while they're down or something like that.
Yeah.
I need to double check. No more clips. Okay. All right, now, any closing statements from anybody?
Wrapped up everything on my end. Appreciate everyone showing up and getting to talk about it. It was fun.
Yeah,
This was great.
me and Legends ran that close. We had just woken up right before this thing started. But yes, Ashen, thank you again for coming to this week's episode, and I hope you you had fun and we could do this again with you sometime.
Absolutely. Yeah, this was great. I'm a big proponent about like learning more about role play and being able to like coach and advise people and just kind of share experiences. So thank you very much for the invite. This was great.
Of course, thank you for being here.
Hmm.
And then as for other news for the podcast in general, guys, Legends is starting a new schedule, so we're going to be announcing a new date that we're going to be doing it, or a day out of the week. So when we have that, we'll kind of let everyone know in the Discord. Legends was supposed to tell us his schedule, but he's been sleeping on the job.
Yeah, so hopefully like a day on the weekend, but obviously yeah, we'll figure something out. New job starting, so it's gonna be a bit touch and go for a bit, but I'll make the time. It's good to get everyone together.
Yeah, it is. And then Scarlett, Azza, you guys got any closing statements?
I'm still traumatized by all of that.
Yeah, that was brutal.
I was like, why do we even RP? This is sick. Oh my god, why do we do this for fun? What's wrong with us?
Because it's cathartic in some weird way.
Yeah. I wanted to show a scene that because I think Wicked Phoenix RP deserves for it, but it's still too fresh, and I think when it's a bit more of an older scene, I'd love to show it down the line on one of these podcasts.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, I'm sure we'll touch base on this again at some point with the FRP, or maybe show it when Wicked's a guest on the episode.
Yep.
But yeah, guys. Scarlett, are you gonna keep streaming after this?
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys, go watch Scarlett. I'm sure you're hopping into Zoe.
I will be, yeah.
All right, perfect.
All right. Thank you, everybody. That was really wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
again,
thank you,
everybody.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right, I'm just gonna send you guys over to Scarlett since she's staying on.
Smart.
Yeah. Also, thank you guys for the raid. I just opened up the screen where it shows it.
I meant to do it earlier when you were like showing the clip, so it's just sat there watching on my own, like, oh fuck, it
Oh,
just
no,
linked people. Oh no.
It's fine. I feel bad for having it only on my stream.
Nah, don't worry about it. It's okay.
Alrighty, guys, I'm sending you over.